This is Gilded Shadows. Tonight, I'm on the run in a world filled with tech, magic, and hot, suspicious men. Obviously, everybody wants me. Like, literally, everybody wants me. I'm a queen or something like that. Well, it's main character problems to the max. Last time we were kidnapped, we got jump scared by a magical bum, and we escaped into the rain. These men are seriously triflin. I also finally found my red flag target, Magnus. He looks so sweet and flirty. He's also a troll, definitely a tease. But is he really so bad? Let's find out as we continue the common route of this indie Otome visual novel game. And just a quick note, this stream is intended for more mature audiences, and it is available on Steam. Gilded Shadows is created by Steamberry Studio, and yes, you can find it on Steam. So, with all of that out of the way, and without further ado, why don't we continue our story? Look, it's raining. MC's hair even looks wet right now. You know, we just escaped, we got attacked by that magical bum and we just escaped with our lives. Out into the rain after getting kidnapped. It was a whole thing. But hopefully today is a better day for MC. I hope we can find our way home. Who knows where we are now? It was dark. My net connection was still scrambled from whatever they had done to it earlier, so I had no way of knowing where I was, what time it was, or anything. I did know there was a rain event planned for this area, given it had started raining on me at some point. That was about how far my knowledge extended. It was cold and miserable, but I'd been running in a disoriented haze before the first drops of water hit me. The shower helped wash some of that away, but only some of it. There was still a fog draped over my mind, and it just wouldn't leave. So I ran, and I ran. My feet splashed through the countless puddles. I went through dozens of unfamiliar streets, alleys. Somewhere along the way, I realized my shoes were gone. My toes were freezing, and stinging pain shot up into my calves each time my heel slammed into the ground. It wasn't until much later that it occurred to me to wonder why I was barefoot, though. Did we not even notice we were barefoot before? I don't recall any mention of being barefoot. When did that happen? Even then, I could only assume I must have lost them when I got out of that building from before. I spent what felt like hours alternating between running down deserted streets and cowering in doorways to catch my breath as I shivered in the rain. At first, I thought I was in the same sector as before. It was abandoned, but there was no blast damage. I just couldn't say for sure. I could have teleported myself a kilometer away from the previous place, or 100 kilometers. I had no way to know. And that had already been hours ago. I hadn't seen anyone else in that entire time, though I'd been on the move for most of it. There might have been people squatting in the empty buildings. In fact, it would be more surprising if there weren't, but I didn't see or hear anyone else. No one human, anyway. Would there be non-humans? If there's non-humans in this game, what kind of beings would they be? At some point, though, through the haze, I felt something beyond the frantic need to get home. A deep, frightening certainty I was being followed. It wasn't the sort of paranoia you could ignore, but a feeling so powerful and raw that it took hold of me and wouldn't let go. It just spurred me to run faster, keep pushing myself until I thought I'd collapse. I'd been crouching behind a garbage receptacle, resting when I first caught sight of it. I only saw it for a second before it vanished again, which told me it definitely had a stealth function of some kind. I had crouched there for what seemed like forever, too paralyzed with fear to chance moving. What on earth is it? Is it an animal? But eventually, the pressing need to get home set me running again with every sense I had on full alert in case it was still nearby. It wasn't long before I had to stop for another break and ducked into a tight corner to hide in the shadows and take a breather. My head hurt so much, throbbing in time to each rapid heartbeat. Each breath felt like broken glass scraping its way through my throat, my ribs, my feet, my everything. It all hurt. Exhaustion washed over me, causing my head to droop nearly to my knees. Can't sleep. All I wanted to do was curl up somewhere, but I couldn't afford to sleep in the open. I didn't know if the thing after me was programmed to restrain me or just take me out. Was it like a robot or something? It was small, too small to be a proper retrieval unit. But the goal might just be to incapacitate me until someone could arrive to pick me up. And there was no reason to think it was the only thing tailing me, even if it was the only one so far that I'd seen. The main question was, who sent it? To me, it didn't look like something some 2-bit criminal group that caught wind of a new queen would have access to. So in this world, a queen is like a chess piece. Everyone has powers. Well, not everyone. There's these people called espers, and they have powers like teleportation, telekinesis, special magic powers. And their powers are like represented like chess pieces, you know? So like the knights are the ones that can teleport. And MC just found out on accident that we are a queen, just like in chess. I'm not exactly sure what that means about our powers and what all we can do, but so far we've been able to mimic or reflect back powers from others. Something like that. So I think we teleported ourselves because we were next to a knight. And I think we shot a powerful magic attack from a bishop right back at them. Like, reflected it back at him, something like that. Well, anyways, that's what happened. We're fancy. Hi, Midnight. Welcome, Stunner. Welcome back. The whole queen-ranked Esper thing. I hadn't wanted to believe it. I hadn't believed it at first. But how else could I explain getting out of that building? Initially, I thought maybe Ari had done it. That he'd somehow teleported me to safety as the building crumbled. Thank you for redeeming Treat a Pup. Yes, let's do that. Puppies, would you like treats? Mr. Bo spin. Good spin, Mr. Bo. What a good boy you are. You're such a good boy. Here's your reward. And Miss Penny is underneath the desk, and she's getting rewards for free. Here you go, Penny. But I was the only one who got out. If it had been him, I wasn't sure why he wouldn't have followed me. You know what my theory is, girl? My theory is that you teleported yourself that time. And Queen Rinks could mimic the psi waves of others and reproduce their abilities. I couldn't reject the possibility that I'd mimicked his skill in a panic. There were implications to that I didn't want to think about, like the fact that if it was true, then even if I made it home, they wouldn't stop pursuing me, unless I got protection from another group with the strength to keep everyone else away. Endgame. I let out a soft groan, thinking that far ahead was pointless. I just needed to worry about getting back to a populated area where I could get help. With eyes burning and ears ringing, I forced myself to my feet. If I stayed in one place, that thing would just find me, so I had to keep moving. Even if I couldn't see it with its stealth program activated, I could feel when it was near, like warning lights in my brain telling me there was a threat close by. It was too strong to be a gut instinct, and if I could accept the queen rank theory, then it was best to assume I should listen to that feeling. I glanced up at the dark sky, wondering when the rain would end. It had been off and on for quite some time. If that machine was tracking me by heat signals, then the cooler the environment, the more I'd stand out. I need to stick close to the walls, so I would avoid the open for a while and try to stay in the alleyways, and hope that was the right decision. When I got home, I'm gonna take the hottest shower, and then bury myself in blankets. That's MC's way of dealing with stress, is a hot shower, and I get you, girl. Real. In fact, that sounds like a good idea to me. I'm going to never leave my apartment again. Also, real. Until I get my test results. That's right, the exam. I had to get back home for that. I didn't have time to worry about espers. Girl's been kidnapped. She's on the run. She's far away from home, running in the rain. And right now, what is she worried about? Test results. An exam. That's what's on her mind. Wow. Overachiever much? My mind went back to when I told Ari they were wrong about me. I wonder what happened to them. And that woman, buried alive somewhere? I doubt it, actually. I doubt she's gone. I bet we will be seeing that woman again, considering she was indeed a sprited character. But besides that, there's no way she's taken out by that. That possibility made my stomach do uncomfortable flip-flops. Flip-flops? Esh said that somebody told her that her games are so long because she says the word flop a lot. So, should we start a flop counter? Flop number 1. I didn't like that, though. I paused, a hand resting against the cold wall. They probably got out, right? The little warning light in my brain went off, and that deep feeling of panic and fear hit me again. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, y'all. Here is what we are going to do. We are going to flee the area to a safer space, rather than trying to find a place for shelter. You know what? I think that's what I would do, you know, in reality. If I was MC right now, I would definitely want to find a safe space. And I feel like trying to take shelter is kind of the same thing, but one's more concerned about just general safety, and one that sounds like it's more concerned about getting out of the rain. So I think, you know, like we're fine. I don't know if we're going to get out of the rain right away, but we're gonna flee to safety. Blood rushed to my head as I pressed myself against the wall, looking around wildly for a place to hide. That thing was close by again. I could feel it. If I could just somehow replicate that teleport I'd done before, if I could get out of here. I was so tired. I wanted to stop running. But if I stayed where I was, it would find me. I had a general sense of where it was somehow, and I knew it was coming closer. I would have to make a break for it, and if it heard me and gave chase, I don't know. I'd have to deal with it then, clamping my mouth shut to quiet the ragged breaths and doing my best to quiet my steps. I turned and fled silently back the way I came. I don't know how I drummed up the energy to run, but I wouldn't be able to keep it up much longer. Tears squeezed from my eyes, both in frustration and pain. At some point, I would collapse, and when I did, it would be over. If I could just find a safe place to rest, just for a few hours, but I couldn't imagine being able to break into a building without being spotted. Part of me wanted to stand my ground, to stop running. Right? Can we trust anybody? Like, seriously, everybody has been trying to kidnap us or manipulate us. I don't think anybody in this game has been trustworthy so far. Hi, Yuri Tashima. Welcome, Stunner. Thank you for being here. We're running in the rain for our lives, trying to find safety, and we have the sense that something is following us. Something. But what? I imagine we will find out soon. Everybody wants us, real. Everybody. Everyone! You know what? That's like the downside to being popular, real. Still struggling to stay alive. Yes, exactly. But there was no guarantee that would get me anything but captured or worse. So with no other goal or direction in mind, I just ran. There were no sounds of pursuit, not that I could hear anyway. I tried to go in as straight a line as I could, heading away from where I had been, and away from that thing. It didn't take long before I reached an area where the alleys broke back out into the streets. I stopped, breathing hard, lungs burning. Being out in the open was unwise, but my only other option was to loop back the way I came. I didn't feel that sense of danger, so I would have to chance it. I staggered out of the alley. At the same time, I heard the roar of an engine. Before I could retreat, light flooded the area as a vehicle crested the hill. I held up a hand, letting out a hiss as the lights temporarily blinded me. I'm sure it was just like that. Angry cat or demon. I whirled around and tried to flail my way back to the alley because there was no reason for anyone else to be in this place. My knees gave out and I went sprawling again. This time, I just couldn't get up. Even as I heard the car come to a stop behind me and someone get out. I hope they're a nice person who's just coming to check on me to see that I'm okay and not another dirty kidnapper. This is it. It's over. There were rapid footsteps coming towards me. I tried to lift myself up on my arms that were not cooperating at all. Holy shit! Are you okay? Someone tried to help me back to a sitting position. That's you because you're a vampire when you look at the sun. Exactly. We are creatures of the night. I let out a strangled cry, trying to push them away. Whoa, hold on. Hey, it's me. That accent. I squinted up at the person crouching over me. Is it the blue-haired hottie? Jack? You look like hell. What are you doing here? Well, I can't really pretend I'm here for any reason other than to find you, but I swear I just wanted to help you. My chin quivered, and I tried to bite back the tears. Yes, your king is back. Hi, blue-haired hottie. How can I believe you? Do you know what I've been through today? I wasn't sure why it was that phrase that finally broke me, but I let out a sob, one hand on his chest to keep him at bay, and the other wiping at my eyes as the tears started flowing. It's been an awful day. Hey, come on now. He drew me closer, wrapping his arms around me, and I wanted so much to push him away and run, because I couldn't trust him. I knew I couldn't. Everyone is after me, but I still clung to him and cried. Shit. I dissolved into a shaking mess, and he just patted my back and let me cry into his chest. After a few moments, he spoke again. Rue, I'm sorry, but we have to get out of here. You're being tracked. I know that. You know where it is? I shook my head, trying to speak around the ache in my throat. I don't think it's close. I think it's a drone. They didn't say exactly what it was that was tracking us, but I think it's something like a drone. He pulled away and looked down at me with a serious look on his face. But if we don't leave soon, it won't be long before it finds us, or someone else does. He stood up and offered me his hand. Do I trust Jack, even though he's kind of shady? Or do I not trust him because he's way too shady? Either way, he's shady. You know what? Because I'm not trying to go for his route right now, I still want to go for our favorite trash bando, Magnus. So I think what I'm going to do is don't trust him. He's way too shady, in the hopes that that will not trigger his route, but instead trigger Magnus's route. Okay? Yes. I mean, he didn't try to kidnap us the first time. That's true. That is true. But I don't know if I trust him, you know? Like, he might have been just manipulating us, you know? It could have been a trick. So I'm going to say don't trust him. He's way too shady. And I'm going to press on the right screen. Oh my gosh. I don't trust you. You're just like the others looking for me. Am I supposed to believe you ended up here by chance? Yeah, that's a good point. No, you're not. I'm not here by chance, and I won't pretend to be. Well, at least he was honest. But he was the first one to know exactly where we live. You know, that's kind of scary. That's scary. He knows. He was smart. He was like, you know what? These other fools, they're going to come looking for you. They're going to kidnap her and all this kind of stuff, and it's not going to work out very well. What he did was way smarter, you know? He was like, I'm going to rizz her up. I'm going to flirt with her, you know? She's going to be so into me in my pecs. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I'll walk you home. And then when I walk her home, I'll know exactly where she lives. That was his strategy. Pretty smart, if you ask me. He's not just a playboy. He's a playboy with a brain. I made a pathetic attempt to scoot away from him, but I wasn't sure what that would solve. He just watched me and made no move to stop me. You can run if you want, but do you think you should? If you stay here and stick it out on your own, you won't last much longer. That thing could show up any minute. I know, right? A smart playboy? Totally scary. It wasn't like he was wrong. I knew I didn't have the strength to keep going. Even if I thought my legs could manage, my head was throbbing. I was dizzy, nauseous. Come with me. I'll give you answers. I promise. I don't know how much your promises are even worth. I choked the words out, trying to bite back the sobs. But I knew he was right. Jack stood and held out a hand to me. He was like, let's take ibuprofen together, Rue. Ah, but yes, ibuprofen. I eyed it, then struggled to my feet on my own. And I was like, screw your stupid ibuprofen. Though I wasn't sure how long I'd be able to stand. I'll go with you, but I don't trust you. Fair enough. Want a hand? Or would you like to get over on your own? I'll walk. I had intended to try anyway, but my knees nearly gave out, and Jack had to help me most of the way. At least he's being a gentleman. Look at those sad puppy eyes right now. He's so adorable. He helped me into the back seat as well, and I just sank into it, a groan escaping. MC has been through it, you know? She's been through a lot. I don't blame her. Everything hurt more now that I wasn't running. Now that the adrenaline has worn off a little bit, you know? Screw your medicine. Screw you. Like, literally, screw you. Screw you, and then screw you. Right, Yuri? Did I get that right? Was I accurate? Ah, I feel terrible. You look it too. Seems like they put you through hell. And then some. He hopped in the front and slammed the door. You know what? He's really lovable. He's hard not to love. For one moment, that panicky sense of danger spiked, and I nearly bolted upright to figure out where that thing was. But then we were speeding away, and the feeling faded as we left the deserted sector behind. I don't know how long we drove. I had been so determined to not let my guard down, but I dozed off pretty fast. Even if I was still cold and wet, the car was warm, and Jack didn't make small talk. The hum of the power cell lulled me to sleep, broken up by the dreams of gunfire and fractured rainbow light. Those are stress dreams. At some point, I woke up sort of slouched down in the seat with Jack's coat draped over me, and he gave us his jacket so he wouldn't be cold. He's so sweet. What a sweetheart. It took a moment to realize where I was, much less remember how I got there. How far away from home are we? Is he taking us home? Where is he taking us? Still groggy, I sat up. The pain in my head faded to a dull throb at the back of my skull. My eyes were weirdly sore for some reason. I rubbed at them as I squinted at the passing scenery in the windows. We had made it to a habitable area. Was the other area not habitable? Were there not humans in that other area? What's going on here? You need him to stop trying to rizz us up. You will fold. Listen, he can keep rizzing us. Don't tell him to stop. I like it when he rizzes us. I've already folded. But I'm still going for Magnus, okay? Magnus is the trash bando I want. That's the root drama that I crave. You awake back there? I'll take that as a sort of. Where are we? My voice was hoarse, and my words a little slurred. I felt like I had the worst hangover imaginable. Looks like we're somewhere in Aurelie. I let out a soft groan. Yeah, I figured we were pretty far from home. But that was on the very edges of New Albion, practically in CERN at this point. I was gonna stop somewhere soon. A late-night cafe or something. I struggled to get myself awake when he said that. Why? I'd like us to be able to sit and talk for a bit, face to face. And frankly, you look like you had a pretty bad case of psi fatigue. Probably would be good to get some food in ya. Besides, I figure a bathroom break is in order. We have a long trip ahead of us. What's psi fatigue? Good question, girl. That's what I was going to ask. From overuse of psi. You have the classic symptoms. I mean, I reckon you have a headache the size of the triad right now. Mind fog. Elevated heart rate. Well, the headache is a little better. He is being a good little savior. He's adorable. He's darling. And he's looking at us with sad puppy eyes. Sleep will help. A bit. Yeah, some sleep. What if the others find us? We've been driving for 2 hours, taking a slightly roundabout way back. I'm not sure we're still being tracked at this point. Hopefully not. That still didn't instill a lot of confidence. I watched buildings and lights slide past, mind sort of vaguely on what my next move would be. Where would we go from here? What would I do? Maybe this would be my chance to separate myself from Jack and strike out on my own. And even if I did, what then? Sighed again, rubbing at my sore eyes. I still can't connect to the net. Yeah, that could be because someone subjected you to a nano scrambler. Could just be that your psi messed it up. That can happen when your nano system isn't equipped to withstand a psi burst like the one you unleashed. I've never seen one of that magnitude. For an untrained esper to do that, you're lucky you didn't give yourself permanent brain damage. Sigh. Burst. Jack seemed to have spotted a good place to stop because he slowed and turned into the car park of an empty cafe. He came to a stop, then changed his mind and drove around the building to park in the alley behind it. He was there the whole time, Yuri. He saw everything. I bet he saw the whole thing. You know? Like, I bet he saw us do the whole teleportation thing. Don't know what it is? No, I know. I just didn't intend to release anything like that. And how did you even know about it? You weren't in that building. He wasn't, was he? I had tracked you there and was outside when it collapsed. I saw the distortion trail you left behind when you teleported. That's how I managed to find you later on. Oh, see, he saw everything. Well, at least from the outside. Jack hadn't hidden it from me, that he'd been there looking for me. But it was still unnerving to hear all that. How long have you been following me around like this? Let's head inside, Rue. I promise I'll explain everything. He opened the door and got out, stretching the kinks out of his back. Look, kind of like that outfit. Oh, it's red. It's a red outfit. Is he part of the Crimson? The other guys were part of the Endgame, the white faction. So is he the Crimson faction this whole time? I followed suit, wincing as soon as my feet hit the ground. My knees felt less than steady and I grabbed at the car, which wobbled uncertainly under the sudden weight. Watch out! He reached for us both. I instinctively jerked away from him, the air crackling with energy. Suddenly my eye started itching. You know when you have bad allergies and your eye starts itching and watering? That's what happens to me this time of year. Or kind of like all time of year around here. Like the grass is very green. And every light, horn, and alarm in his two-seater lit up like crazy. I clapped my hands to my ears as Jack fiddled with the controls desperately to shut it off. Stop it! I don't know how. Girls' powers are out of control. You know, she's extremely powerful, but she doesn't know how to harness her powers. Jack let out a growl of frustration and grabbed my shoulders, squeezing just enough to get my attention. Come on! Deep breaths. If you release this much energy, even that asshole Magnus might get a lock on this location. Asshole Magnus? Are you two enemies? And if he doesn't, the bishops will. Then they really will track us down. You have to get a hold of yourself. I took several slow, wheezing breaths as I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to not do what I was doing to set the car off. It was hard to relax with the alarms shrieking at us the way they were, not to mention that the screaming pain in my head was black. It was back. That's what I meant to say. But the instruments began to die down one by one. Good job. Just keep breathing slowly and focusing on my voice. Easier said than done. But I did my best until finally the noise stopped, and I could open my eyes again without feeling like I would inadvertently blow something up. You okay? Feel really dizzy. I'll bet. Let's get you inside, Butterfly. There's that nickname Butterfly again. He wrapped an arm around me, and this time I didn't pull away, if only because I needed the extra support to stay upright. As the automatic door slid open and we stepped into the warm cafe, Jack gave me a half-worried and half-amused glance. Look at this beautiful cafe. It looks like a fun place. I bet the food's pretty good in there. I'd go there. I'd eat there. Real. So, I've been wondering this for a while now, but where the hell are your shoes? No idea. I think I lost them when I teleported. I lowered my voice, even though no one was around. It looked like a place with an actual kitchen in the back. Whatever staff were on shift must have been back there. There weren't any other customers. Oh, maybe I wouldn't eat there. Because usually, unless it's a really weird time of day, like if it's the middle of the night, maybe. But if you go to a restaurant and no one is there, that could be a bad sign about the quality of the food. Maybe we can do something about them later. I don't have any extras on me, though. It's fine. It's not like I'm expecting to have my wardrobe needs taken care of. For now, it was enough that he got me out of that place. Jack navigated us to a table. I sat and tucked my feet out of view. Jack looked around as he took the seat across from me. Cozy. I hugged his jacket close, wishing I could curl up somewhere and sleep for 10 years. Depends on whether it's really late, the food is bad, or it's a trap. Exactly. It's one of those three for sure. And I wouldn't put it beyond trap, but hopefully Jack wouldn't bring us to a place that's a trap, you know. Hopefully he continues to be a smart playboy. What happens now? Are you gonna take me home? I knew it was a long shot. He hadn't been watching me all this time just to take me home after finding me. You know, if I do that, people will only come for you again. I know. I hugged his jacket closer and shrank into my seat a little. Then, what do you want from me? Well, that's obvious, isn't it? I want you to come with me. Where? Who are you with? He seemed surprised by that phrasing, as if he hadn't expected me to have already divided the people looking for me up into groups. Yeah, we're not stupid, okay? We already know the endgame people are after us. We know Crimson is after us, you know? And we know, and then there's like the wild cards, the bum. There's like magic people after us. There's definitely different groups. I was gonna take you to the court. The court? That... I lowered my voice as someone came out of the kitchen. A curious owner, perhaps. Jack waved that way and called out to him, ordering 2 coffees. I watched the older man nod and then retreat. That cult? Jack's lips curved up to a smirk. A cult? They're not a cult. I have no idea how that rumor got started, but they're just a community of espers living together and keeping each other safe. Living together where? Delphine. It's really the only place for them. The court, huh? I'd never heard a single complimentary thing about them, and the concept of them as an innocent community of espers just didn't feel right. So, you're with them. It's not completely correct to say I'm with them. It's not like it's an organization. It's just a group of people trying to keep from being noticed. He'd said he wouldn't lie to me, but I didn't know if I could believe that. Okay, so he's with the court, not Crimson. I think, right? Crimson and the court, they are not one and the same. They're different. If that's the case, then how did you find out about me? There's a man back at the court who's adept at sensing other espers. He became aware of you a few days ago. Was that the crazy guy at the fountain? And he just sent you to get me out of the kindness of his heart. We knew that other people would seek you out. Endgame, Noir, the host. I have no idea who most of these people are. Noir, that mafia group in Delphine. They're pretty well known for their experiments on espers. Human experimentation is banned, including when it comes to esper genome research. Girl, just because something is illegal doesn't mean that people won't try to do it. To you. Because the mafia has a great deal of respect for the law, right? Exactly. It's the mafia. You think they're going to be like, oh, it's banned, I'm not going to do it. No. That's horrible. I know this may come as a shock to you, but even our own government doesn't respect those kinds of bans. There are more than a few rumors about the work the Triad is doing in that regard as well. Those people looking for you do not have your best interest at heart, I guarantee that. But you and the court do. Why? Because we're the same. The court is made up of people sick of being a part of this chess game between the government and everyone else. Get it? Chess game, because that's the motif of this entire game. They just want to live freely. I studied him wordlessly. I was nowhere near adept enough with any sort of psi abilities to peek inside his mind to see anything more than he wanted to reveal, assuming that was a thing espers could do. When we met yesterday at the fountain... I arrived in Cecilis yesterday and spent the better part of the day tracking you down. Why didn't you tell me any of this then? Well, I was waiting for the right chance. I mean, if I rocked up to you and told you that you had to come with me, what would you have done? You wouldn't have gone with me. You would have just got scared. I wanted to find the right time to reach out to you. I didn't want to scare you off. I didn't expect two kidnappers to grab you off the street like that. Do you know who they were? I know this will be a little tough to believe, but they were from Endgame. Endgame, huh? Was that really true? You don't seem surprised to hear that. I had considered the possibility. I just don't understand why they'd kidnap me. First of all, if someone from the court will sit down and talk, why would Endgame yank me off the sidewalk and shove me in a car? They're supposed to protect people. They're basically law enforcement. More like they're just above the law entirely. When it comes to Endgame, I can promise you they're not what people think they are. And there's a lot of things that go on behind closed doors, and in dark alleys, abandoned districts, and sometimes right out in the open. A queen ranked Esper is rare, and they probably weren't quite counting on as many groups to know about you. Acquiring a new queen in secret would be a pretty significant trump card. You're saying they manhandled me, terrified me, and risked my life for a trump card? That's how things on this side work. You want to stay on top? You need trump cards to do it. Yeah, but wouldn't that mean she would have to be compliant? You know? Controllable? Are we those things? But isn't that because they're always trying to keep groups like Crimson and Noir at bay without stepping on the government's toes? Hey, Milky. Welcome, Stunner. Thank you for being here. And maybe even the court, too. Just because I haven't heard of you people doing anything horrible doesn't mean that you don't. Good point. So, you're fine with how they handled this? Of course not. I just... I need to do some deep cleaning, too, real. Maybe this weekend. I didn't know. My head was hurting too much to make judgment calls about this right now. I know it's a lot to take in. And you'll have to forgive me. Endgame may be heroes to people on this side of the world, but where I'm from, they're just a part of the problem. When the government is corrupt, maybe it needs its toes stepped on a little. I pressed my fingertips against the bridge of my nose, squeezing my eyes shut. I don't know what to believe about any of this. Even if Jack was telling the truth, it didn't mean going with him was the best option. Endgame was still Endgame, and the court was still some weird group off in another country. And if I said I didn't want to go with Jack, would he even let me go? I had no idea. Look, I'm going to step away for a few minutes. Go to the restroom. Our coffee should be out soon. He stood and shot me a faint grin as he started away. And the car requires voice authentication to unlock, so don't even think about trying to steal it. Okay. I shot him a scowl as he left me at the table and disappeared through a door on the other side of the restaurant. We did, Milky. We went running. We were in the rain. And we sensed that something was tracking us. Perhaps a drone. When suddenly a car came for us. We're weakened, sick, no shoes or anything, after having teleported ourselves far, far away. And then came Jack, the blue-haired hottie from earlier. We didn't trust him, but he was kind, and he offered us a ride home, or a ride somewhere, to safety. He gave us his jacket, and we fell asleep in his car, so exhausted. And he said, let's talk. Let's go to a cafe. And so, we're now talking about this situation that we have found ourselves in. We're safe for now. And it turns out that Jack is part of a group of espers who live on the outskirts called the Court. And it's like a fringe group, apparently. We've learned that the two kidnappers, they are from Endgame, which is like a kind of like a para-policing type of a group. And then there's Crimson and another group, a mafia. Anyways, basically, everyone and their dog wants us, and they're all after us. He was smart. He placed his scent on us immediately as soon as we passed out. He's been after us. He's been following us. He knows everything. Fortunately, he seems to be forthright and forthcoming with all of his information, or most of it anyway. But I don't know if we can trust him yet. But he does appear to be a smart playboy. I shot him a scowl as he left me at the table and disappeared through a door on the other side of the restaurant. Is his scent nice? I bet he is. I bet he smells great, you know? He looks like the kind of guy that would smell pretty good. I laid my head on the table and shut my eyes. What was I supposed to do now? How was I supposed to plan my next move? My head was hurting too much to think about it clearly. I just didn't know if I could trust Jack. The whole bit about the court was both confusing and worrying. They didn't have a good reputation, no matter what he said. She thought it was like a cult, and he's like, it's not a cult. It's a community. It's true that Cecilise may not get the entire story when it came to news out of Delphine, but I'd heard nothing good about the court. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if your local news media is twisting the truth in some cases, you know? Especially if this Delphine is not in their favor. I couldn't imagine myself becoming part of that group. Sounds exactly like what a cult would say. I know. It's not a cult, it's a community. Join us. Besides, I'd thought that guy from yesterday, from earlier today, was with them. And that made me worry about it even more. You mean like that crazy guy? The bum? Jack seemed level-headed, but could I really trust that he wasn't lying to me? As far as I knew, he wasn't from the court at all. He could be with any group. It would be stupid to believe him just because he'd helped me one time. On the other hand, he'd said Caleb and Ari were from Endgame, and I couldn't come up with a single reason to lie about that. Well, maybe to make Endgame look bad, so I wouldn't try to go to them. What they'd done seemed unconscionable. Unconscionable. But maybe they had a reason. Maybe it was to protect me from people like Jack. Endgame was a group I knew and could trust. Whatever else was true about them, they helped people. Girl, police types, they don't always help people. Just gonna say. It is not always so black and white, and I fear that you have already discovered a little bit of that. If they were just the good guys, they wouldn't have kidnapped you the way that they did, okay? That's not something that purely good guys do, all right? They would have been like, I mean, honestly, they would have done what Jack is doing. They would have been like, hey, let me walk you home. Hey, we're from Endgame. You can trust us. We need to take you to safety. You're a target. You know, everyone's out for you. We're going to protect you. Let me take you to the police station, the para-police or whatever. That's what they should have done. But that's not what they did, okay? Right? Corruption is real. Jack was surely right when he implied there was more to them than what the public knew, but I struggled to believe they were secretly evil. Probably. At any rate, they had an army of espers. It wasn't like they couldn't take over if they wanted to. Yet, they strove hard for neutrality. Wow. We're kind of doing mental backflips. I let out a frustrated groan. I didn't even know where Ari and Caleb were. A slow tingle started in my feet and made its way up to my legs. At first, I thought it was just because I was finally warming up. But no, my heart started pounding, and there was a sudden intense feeling of something approaching. I whirled around. Standing up so fast, I overturned my chair. But of course, there was nothing. Maybe we're sensing something. Maybe we're sensing a magic power, a presence. A psi ability. This was similar to what had been happening in the abandoned district, but somehow different. There was no real feeling of being threatened, just of something getting closer. In my mind, I saw a flash of Ari here, in this cafe, looking down at me. And then it was over. The feeling was gone. And I was left trying to figure out what exactly that had been. Maybe he's like doing some kind of psychic connection, you know, some kind of mind like tracking you down with his brain, you know, and you saw an apparition, like you felt his psychic presence approaching you. Maybe that's what it was. I rubbed my throbbing head again. It felt like a dam had burst open inside me. I never used to be able to do this kind of thing. Did this mean those two would find us soon? If that was true, what should I do? Ooh, there's so many options. Everything is neutral. Okay, we're gonna wait here and we're gonna say nothing. This choice will unlock the endgame character roots. Do you want to proceed? Yes, because Magnus is an endgame character, is he not? I believe that that's what Esh said. So the answer to this is yes. This was it. You know what I should do is save it though. We're going to save our game. Just in case this was wrong, or I need to get back here. Here we go. Wait there and say nothing. Because we want to unlock endgame. Yes. Alright. I've been defending these endgame guys as MC. Even though real Rue, doesn't trust that there is no corruption, you know. I think MC is going to find that there very well is plenty of corruption because it's going to be full of drama. But we want Magnus, the trash, our favorite trash bando. We're looking for a red flag. That has been our mission, okay? We always have a mission in these games. Okay, and our mission has been to find Magnus and to begin Magnus's route. So, if I'm correct, that he truly is part of Endgame, if I'm remembering correctly, we are on the right track. Let's go. This was it. It was either trust Jack and go with him to the court, hoping he wasn't lying to me, or go with Ari and Caleb, who were part of a group who, whatever else was true about them, had protected this planet and everyone on it for centuries. Sorry, Jack. I couldn't go with him. I would just wait here for Ari and Caleb to catch up to us. Yep, they probably know exactly where you are. Riding my chair, I sat down and let my head flop onto the table with a groan. Ugh. I lay there long enough to drift off before Jack returned. Well, I'm glad to see you're still here. The sound of his voice dragged me back into the world of the waking. I made a grunt of acknowledgement, opening my eyes to stare sideways at the wall next to our table. A little twinge of guilt gnawed at me. You said I wouldn't be able to steal your car anyway. So, you thought about trying it? Yes. I have to admit I appreciate your honesty. I don't know where I would go. I don't know how to get home from here. And I don't know what I'd do when I got there. Like you said, more people will come after me. Which just meant the life I'd known until now was gone, no matter what I chose to do. We took the blue pill, or was it the red pill? We took the red flag pill. Which red flag? The Magnus red flag. You okay? No. Yeah, just a headache. Don't lie, girl. You are not okay. Why don't we get you something to eat? And where the hell's that cop? His words cut off abruptly, causing me to look up. Unknown person. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you talking about red flags? You're colorblind. You can't see them. Oh, it's Caleb. 2 cups slid onto the table, but my eyes went wide when I saw who was the one putting them there. I got your coffee. That hadn't taken long. I don't believe everything this liar tells you. Wrong person. And don't believe everything this liar tells you. He was sporting a fresh cut alongside the side of his eye, a spiderweb of blue and green branching out, evidence of an expanded nanosystem busy regenerating the cells and healing the injury. That's pretty convenient. I would like to have nanobots healing injuries in my body. Honestly, can I just have nanobots make me look perfect all the time, keeping me healthy all the time, getting rid of my allergies all the time? Can I have that? I need that. I would pay big money for that. You called it? It was a trap? I don't think it was a trap. I think he just showed up. I think he apprehended the coffee and was like, take this, because they weren't here before. They weren't hiding out here, but they found where we were through probably Ari's psychic abilities. But Caleb looked rather well for someone who had a building collapsed onto his head. They probably teleported out of there and didn't get actually hurt, you know? Jack seemed rather unfazed by Caleb showing up. His baffling response to this development was to pick up his coffee and take a sip. I'm almost glad to see you're still kicking, Jack. They know each other. It's been so long since you've been a pain in the ass. I thought maybe your boss got sick of you and tossed your body in the wastes. Not a chance. He's not like your boss. He doesn't just abandon people to die. You know what? She keeps saying that he has like a slight accent. Jack does. So maybe I'll try like a slight southern accent, because that's one of the accents I can kind of sort of do. You know? Not a chance. He's not like your boss. No, actually I can't do it. I have to hear it for a while first and then do it. Doesn't just abandon people to die. Not a chance. He's not like your boss. He doesn't just abandon people to die. What the heck does that mean? Caleb's jaw clenched, but he said nothing. Instead, he shot a glare my way. I flinched. As for you, he reached for my wrist, and I instinctively tried to pull it away, even as he clamped some kind of device onto it. What the hell is this? Psi inhibitor. Looks like he doesn't want another building dropped on his head. Oh, a psi inhibitor. Looks like he doesn't want another building dropped on his head. You know what? I give up. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Sir, you reach for me, I will bite. Yes. You know what? Don't put an inhibitor on me. I don't like this behavior. Screw you, Caleb. Psi inhibitor. Looks like he doesn't want another building dropped on his head. But that's probably true. Still gripping my wrist tightly, Caleb pulled me a little closer. Do you have to be so rough with me? You probably could have just asked me to come with you nicely, and I probably would have went. I hope you realize that stunt you pulled nearly got us killed. If Ari had been a second too late. Let go. I don't even know how I did that, much less did I do it on purpose. I'm not sure I believe you. If you don't want me to knock a building on you, then maybe don't kidnap me. I slammed my free hand into his shoulder. He scowled at me, but I was tired and scared, and this stupid man was on the top of my list of people I was mad at. I'd already decided to go with them, even though I didn't like him. Why was he being a jerk? He grabbed my arm, pinning both wrists to the table in front of me. Ow! Will you be quiet? I struggled to free myself. Let me go. I was vaguely aware of Jack sort of laughing under his breath, and I shot him a glare, suddenly wanting to hit him too. He attempted to not look amused. How dare you? This is not funny. I'm being abused. He failed. I glared at him, tears stinging my eyes because everything hurt and I was so tired of all of this. Don't start that crying nonsense. Then don't kidnap me. The tears spilled over, and I wasn't sure if it was because he'd said not to, or if it was just because the energy had to go somewhere. And since I couldn't strangle anyone, I was gonna cry. There's Ari. Ari, tell them to be nice to me. Yeah, you're hitting them both. I would be smacking them both too. How dare? Be nice to me. Treat me like you're gentlemen, okay? Don't treat me like this. All right, I'm a queen. You should be bowing down to me, okay? You should be kissing my feet. You should be treating me with respect, okay? You should be gentle with me. You should be worshiping me, boys. That's what you should be doing. Worship. Caleb, I may have warped the space around this table, but it would be better if you made some attempt to not create a disturbance. Oh, good timing, Vertani. Vertani has redeemed a sudden boyfriend, bride, or banish for 200. Okay, y'all. We have 3 men on a screen. Perfect opportunity for boyfriend, bride, or banish. Now, in this case, because this is a mature game, we're going to go ahead and do bone, bride, or banish. Hello, Azure X Twilight, and thank you for the stretch. I will do that. All right, so our contestants are, I will tell you who these men are. On the left, we have Caleb. Caleb, who I'm voicing like this. Caleb, he's our resident tsundere, okay? He's being really rough with us. He's part of like a para-police type of a group, you know, that protects the planet. You know, they wear uniforms and stuff like that. But he helped kidnap me, and I don't like that. And he has been the one who has been really rough with us. You know, he's been like grabbing us. He put like a power inhibitor on us. He's been really rude, and I don't appreciate that. But he is hot, and I do like tsunderes. Caleb, our next contestant in the middle. This is Ari. Ari, he's a kudere for sure. And Ari, you know, he did kidnap us. him and Caleb together. He did. They are part of the same group. He did go along with it. Yes, he is kind of sort of a police. But I kind of get the feeling that he didn't actually want to kidnap us. He's been way nicer to us. You know, like he's been a little bit more gentlemanly. He's been kinder. He's been protective. Yes, he kidnapped us, but he did protect us when we got attacked. And we got a good look at his Adam's apple, and that's hot. And his eyes glow in the dark, and he's got special magic powers. Like I kind of have the hots for him, I'm not gonna lie. Ari, like real. And then we have Jack. Hi, Jack. He's our resident playboy. He's the flirt, y'all. The flirt! He definitely knows how to rizz us up, but he's manipulative, okay? This whole time, everyone's after us. And he tried to pretend like he wasn't after us, but he was. He found us at the fountain when we first met him. He rizzed us up. He walked us home. He knows where we live, okay? But then it turns out he knew who we were, and he knew where we were. He's been tracking us this whole time, and he tried to get us to join his little cult. Well, he said it wasn't a cult. He said it was a community for espers, whatever. MC's like, yeah, whatever. Pfft, it's a cult. And we've decided we're not going with you. Okay, Jack, you're just as manipulative as anybody else, okay? Just because you're pretty, okay, and you're shirtless half of this game doesn't mean that we can just trust you blindly, even though we love a flirt. So, who do I bone? Who do I bride? And who do I banish? As of right now, okay, my decisions may very well change in the future because we've only just started this game. But bone goes to Jack. Why? Because he's a blue-haired hottie. Yes. Look at his earrings. Look at his fashion. That shirt's really nice and tight. I like that. Yes. I like that he's kind of tough looking, you know, he's got like a scar, it's kind of hot. He's really handsome, you know, and Esh told me that he's shirtless like half of the game. And I have actually seen CGs on the Steam page, on the promotional page, where he's shirtless. There's lots of shirtless. I like shirtless. I like a flirt. I like a playboy. I'm not gonna lie. He could take us on a good date, you know, he could wine and dine us. He's got powers if he's an esper. I wonder what kind of powers. I'd like to find out. Bone, 100%. Jack gets boned. And then, bride. I bride Ari. Why? Because Ari, he seems to be like a gentleman, you know. You know, he has a job, so he probably makes pretty decent money. I like that. You know, he could take care of us. He's protective. We've seen that already. I like that. He has a pronounced Adam's apple. He's really tall. He's 6'3", as said earlier. 6'3". I like that. His eyes glow in the dark. He's really tough. He can teleport. You know, he has psychic abilities. And he can fight. I like that. You know, he can shield us with his powers. You know, he's like physically tough and psychically tough. I like that. And he's been nice to me. You know, he's been the most gentleman of these two guys, okay? Everybody else has been triflin. And he did agree to kidnap us, which means he does have a little bit of a bad boy in him. And I do like a bad boy. Bride Ari. Yes. I wonder if he cooks. If he cooks, definitely bride. And then we come to banish. I'm sorry, Caleb, but I don't like being manhandled. I don't like being pushed around. I don't like you grabbing me the way that you've been grabbing me, okay? I don't like being treated like I'm anything less than a queen that I am. Like I said earlier, you should be begging me for mercy. You should be kissing my feet. You should be groveling before me like the worm you are. Okay? Now listen, I do like a dangerous man. I do like a red flag. I do like a tsundere. Yes, I do. But right now, you have just been all tsun with no dare, and you've been rude. How dare? And you've been way too rough, and I don't like that. At least these other two gentlemen have been nice to me, okay? You, on the other hand, you can step. As of right now, you can step. I'm sure I'll love you later. But for right now, banish Caleb. Get out of here. You're done. All right, let's see what the rest of you said. It's time to look through the chat. My gosh, there's some drama going on. Some of y'all don't agree with me. Let's see. We don't trust police, especially kidnapping ones. Banish, says Milky. Are you banishing them both? Azure says banish. And then Milky says maybe bone him. Which one, Milky? The one in the middle? Or you're talking about Jack. You want to bone Jack. Azure says you're weak to green-haired men. There's a green-haired man? Where? Milky says bone the middle one. Yeah, I can see it. Yuri says, can I just wife them all up? Yuri is taking the harem route. I can respect that. We will allow it. Milky says. Yeah, I guess bone the playboy. Agreed. Bride the middle one who is protective and banish the jerk. That part. Yes. 100%. Yes. Yes, I agree. That's what I'm doing too. Azure says, I mean, you can bone all of them and then marry the one in the middle. You know what? Listen, we could angry bone Caleb and then banish him. What if we did that? What if we bone all three and then bone Bride and banish? One of them gets double boned. Nah, you want to banish the one that's mean to the kid. That's the mean kidnapper. Yeah. Yuri says, I loved Tsunderes, but I don't like Caleb because I don't like lads Caleb. Yes, yeah, you know what? They both have the same name, Caleb. It's definitely going to leak in there. Yuri agrees with me. You know what? I'm going to stick with my decision. I think it's a good one. Yep. Thank you for a round of sudden bone bride banish. We'll play it again, I'm sure, the next time we see three men on a screen. Now, let us get back to our story. I let out a frantic squeak as Ari appeared out of thin air. Ari, where did you come from? I mean, I knew he could do that, but that didn't mean it prepared me for him popping in and out of nothingness. Real, girl, real. I'm not the one shouting. I knew you'd be lurking around somewhere, Sticks. That gave me a pause, not because it was kind of a weird nickname, but also because it was a nickname at all. Wow, they actually all know each other really well. I got this feeling before, but do the three of you know each other? I'm afraid so, Butterfly. Ari looked down at me, taking in what I assumed was my rather woeful appearance. He shot Caleb a disparaging look. You made her cry. Don't give me that, and stop acting like you're not involved. I, at least, have done nothing but help her out today. That's true. That is true. And he's bragging about it. If you hadn't been skulking around, we wouldn't have had to take such drastic measures in the first place. If I hadn't been skulking around, you wouldn't have even known about her. I shot him a poisoned look when he said that. He is manipulative. He is a smart playboy. Have you been gaslighting me this whole time, Jack? How dare you? How dare? You're lucky you're hot. So this is all your fault. You somehow neglected to tell me that earlier. He was being gaslighting. If they had known about me because of him, did that mean everyone else had found me because of him? Hey, now I told you, I'm just trying to help you. Too bad that's a lie. Real. Oh, and the two of you are here out of the kindness of your hearts. I don't have time for this. She's coming with us, Jack. And you can go back to your boss or go to hell, your pick. And if I have no intention of letting you take her, you really think you can do anything about it? Will you stop talking about me like I'm an object? I'm right here. I decided I'd go. First of all, I can hear you. Second of all, I am not an object, okay? And third of all, I decide where I go and who I go there with. That part. My voice rose to a shout, and the window next to me rattled in the pain. I wasn't sure the others noticed. I hope not.
I apologize for breaking into this discussion. The word from the tower is that several others are closing in on this location. They believe at least one of them is from Nyx. Others are unknown affiliation. It may be the woman from before.
Nyx? Just how many groups of psychos are after me right now? Psychos, real.
Far too many for you to be safe with anyone but us.
I couldn't deny that seemed like it was the case.
Well, looks like you made up your mind.
I shot him an apologetic look. Girl, don't be apologetic. He is guilty just as much as they are.
Ha ha ha. Don't look at me like that, butterfly.
You have to do what's best for yourself.
But unfortunately, so do I.
What? What's happening? The three of them all moved at the same time, and all I caught was a blur of movement as Caleb tackled Jack. And Ari yanked me out of my seat towards him. Ah! A weapon went off and the back of my chair exploded. Ah! I crashed into Ari, who pulled me into an awkward, tangled semi-embrace. Ah! What had just happened? It took a moment to realize Jack had been the one to fire a weapon at me. How dare you? How dare you? I do love it when hot men fight over me. Yes, so do I, Yuri. Don't we all, says Asher. What? Y'all take a drink, MC just said. What? Huh? We're going. Oh, that was Ari.
We're going.
Yeah. I wasn't sure why I felt so betrayed, but I didn't have time to think about it. How dare he shoot at me like that? Jack, I thought you were on my side. I guess I was wrong. I knew you were gaslighting me. How dare you? Oh, he tried to take me out. I like Jack even more now, Yuri. How dare he try to shoot me? The world twisted, and we left the fighting behind, staggering out into an alley that probably wasn't too far away. I'm sure that the owner of that restaurant is so upset right now. How dare, like a shootout just started. The restaurant's gonna get destroyed. The owner's probably like, oh my God, freaking Espers, get out of here. Who's gonna pay for this? Who is paying for this damage? Okay? It sure as hell ain't gonna be Jack. We could figure that. I staggered away from him, still not quite used to that.
I apologize. I know you wish to choose who you aligned with. That isn't a choice we can afford to give you.
I'd already decided when I realized the two of you would find us. You may be kidnappers, but at least the two of you never tried to harm me. I mean, Caleb did harm us. I mean, they didn't shoot us or anything. They did protect us. But Caleb was being really rough.
I do not believe Jack shot at you by choice. He was likely under orders to.
Are you defending him? Aren't you people enemies? Yeah, if I was the owner, I'd be like, dang, Espers, get out of here.
Things are not always as simple as enemies and allies.
Yeah, well, say that again after he tries to shoot you.
There was no way Jack believed he would hit you with Caleb and I standing right there.
I don't get you people at all.
I'm...
Definitely bride this one. Agreed. agreed. Who is this unknown man?
I hate to interrupt the two of you, but we've been waiting an awful long time and would like to just get this over with.
Who the heck are you? Ari and I whirled around to find several people in suits just behind us, all with weapons drawn. You like the voice?
You like my nasal voice? Yeah! I don't know this man and I don't like him, so he's gonna get this voice.
How are they all finding us? Where are these people coming from?
Endgame isn't the only one with competent bishops.
Precognition. They must have someone with a foresight ability.
So, they just knew where we'd be and when. Eric War flashbacks. Exactly. And Agile is just starting in 20 seconds. And we will take a short moment to drink some water, take care of ourselves, but I am going to continue with the story. Agile is only 3 minutes. Thank you for redeeming drink actual water. Water is good for us. We need to drink water. Also, it's a good time to stretch. Yes. And it's a good time to treat a pup. Bo just popped his little dog head up. Let's do that. It's time to treat a pup. Everything is getting redeemed. So now we're busy doing Agile. Yep, y'all ain't gonna miss nothing. Because look at Penny. Good girl, Penny. Good girl. You ready for a treat? You want a snack? Yuri, would you like to tell Penny to do a trick? Or Mr. Bo? Because Penny went under the desk. Hey, Bobo. Would you like to do a trick for us? Mr. Bo, did you see that drool? A line of drool just dripped down this dog's his face. All right, Yuri, tell him to do a trick. And then I will have him do it for you. Milky has redeemed Make Penny Bark for 10,000. Penny, speak. Good girl, Penny, speak. Good girl, Penny. Did you hear her? Here, Bo. That's for Penny barking. Okay, and then Yuri gets to pick what Bo does. How about... Would you like him to stand? I can have. Would you like him to bow? He hasn't done that one in a long time. I haven't had him bow in a while. How about that? I haven't shown that to you before. Maybe not ever. Oh, bravo. Bravo. Good, bravo. Did you see it? Did you see he bowed? It was a good one, right? Did you like that? It was so cute. He's a good bow. Good boy, Bo. All right, dogs, you've been rewarded, both of you. Thank you so much for the redeems. And now, welcome back from Agile, you stunners. You have missed nothing because we spent the time to treat a pup. Yes, we did. We drank water, we stretched, we took good care of ourselves, and now it's time to continue our story. And now, let us continue our story. So, we just knew where we'd be and when. How do you fight against something like that? Yeah, how indeed.
It is a troubling ability.
Unknown woman. How is she gonna sound?
But like you indicated, Mr. Suit, Endgame has bishops of its own.
Oh, that's her. Okay, she gets a high-pitched voice from me because I was running out of voices. This time it was a woman who stepped around the corner behind the suits. She had a smirk on her face and was wearing a white and black uniform. One man kept his gun on us, while two others trained their weapons on her.
Vanessa, your timing is impeccable as usual.
Van. Oh, that must be Vanessa for short.
I try. So, what are you lads going to do? If you stay and fight, I assure you that you'll lose. But I'm feeling pretty generous if you run, so we won't stop you.
I'd pick my fights wisely if your bishop wasn't aware ours would be here. You may wish to consider that we're more prepared for this standoff than you are.
For instance, the snipers.
That set off a mild panic among the suits as one craned his neck trying to spot where anyone else might be hiding. The one man just stared at us, looking like he might try to stand his ground. But a split second later, there was a painful flash, and they were gone.
They ran away.
Is that not what you wanted?
Well, it is. Sort of.
She came towards the two of us, looking us up and down.
Anyway, you two look terrible.
It's been a long day.
For you, not Elfer. Get back to Caleb and get him out of there. We'll get this one back to the tower.
Jack.
Leave him. Merlin's orders.
Merlin?
And Ari, at this point, everyone knows we have the queen. No need for secrecy.
I understand.
Merlin? That's what I said. That was like the same reaction that Rue had as Game Rue had. Merlin? Ari vanished, leaving me with a woman he called Vanessa.
He's the boss, and you look like you're about to pass out.
I swayed just as she said it, but she sidled alongside me to offer support. So these people really were from Endgame. Is it over? It felt like every ounce of energy was just flowing away from me. I don't know if it was because it felt like I would finally be safe, or if she was doing something to me.
Well, might be more accurate to say everything is just getting started. You just get some sleep for now, and when you wake up, I promise things will be better than this.
And with that, everything went black. Wow! Endgame interlude. We're almost done with the common route, I'm suspecting. Maybe we get to make decisions now that will help us determine which endgame love interest we will get. I think there are 3. If I'm correct, the 3 endgame guys are Caleb, Ari, and Magnus. Ooh. When a pretty lady tells me to do something, then I will, says Yuri. Exactly. And she is a pretty lady. I was aware of voices before I fully awakened. 2 of them, masculine, speaking in low words that were a mere buzz. My head throbbed as I tried to work up enough saliva to swallow. Oh, there's 4. Hi, Esh. Welcome, you stunner. You is also from Endgame, and I don't think we've met you yet. Showed up in time to actually tell me. Perfect timing. Yes, impeccable. Everything was hot, and it felt like I was dying. But I couldn't die. I forced my eyes open, and through the haze saw two people leaning over me. Oh, it's today's boyfriend. Hi, Magnus. Oh, look at us in our green scrubs. You know, there was once upon a time I used to work at a hospital. And at the hospital, they provided scrubs for us. And mine looked just like that, except for they didn't have the tab. They weren't like a patient's robe. But my scrubs were that same color of green. I forced my eyes open, and through the haze, saw two people leaning over me. A broken, disordered series of images flashed through my mind. The car, the explosion, gunshots, a strange man with odd eyes. It wasn't a dream. The realization hit me, and I let out an undignified shriek as I bolted upright. Where was I? I didn't know these people. In the back of my head, I did think they were vaguely familiar, but most prominent was the feeling of terror. You had to make it open in the front so people wouldn't think her booty was out. But what if it was? I acted on instinct. The men jumped back, but I was already launching myself up and off the bed. I saw a blurry head of blonde hair to try and duck away, but not before my elbow connected with it. Get him! Unknown man, Magnus! He and I hit the ground at the same time, but I didn't stop. The other man came around the end of the bed, but I scrambled away. We're striking. We're waking up. We're fighting. Fighting! We don't remember what's happening. We don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter, okay? We are fighting! Yuri wants to show the goodies. Yuri wants the booty out. The other man came around the end of the bed. F to get home. I burst through the door into a hall, my bare feet slapping against the tiled floor. We do appear to be in a futuristic hospital. Everything hurt, but I still ran. The people in the hall were blurs and colored blobs as I sprinted past. A few of them reached for me, but I shouted and staggered away from them. One was a blonde doctor who was just seconds too late to grab me. Where was I going? I didn't know. Outside, I hoped. I rounded a corner, almost toppling as I tried to make the sharp turn. My fingers brushed the floor as I steadied myself and continued to flee. Behind me, people were following. I ran past rows of chairs, stopping to pull some out and into the path. Listen, Morgan would not care. I just wanted to answer questions about it. You did not want to answer questions about it. Got it. You were like, you know what? I don't want to have to deal with people being like, why is her booty out? I get it. Real. Why couldn't I find the exit? My head hurt so much. Spots swam in and out of my vision. Every memory and thought felt disconnected, discordant. There was only the vision of fractured rainbow light and the sound of everything crumbling around me. I bolted past the door after door until I thought I would vomit. It was a maze with no way out. I turned down the corridor. I turned down another corridor, confronted with a blurry dead end ahead. The voices behind me drew closer, so I veered into a room on my right and slammed my hand on a control panel to shut the door before shoving a bed across it. I made sure it was wedged against the inner lip, so the door couldn't slide open easily. No windows, no way out. I backed against the far wall, using it to lean against, as I stared at the now blocked exit. Where had they taken me? Who had taken me? Someone tried to open the door. The bed made a horrific scrape as they pushed it back slightly. I grabbed a glass jar with swabs from a nearby counter and hurled it at the door. It shattered, and whoever was trying to come inside jerked the door back shut. Voices spoke right outside, one angry, one amused. Let me guess, the angry one was Caleb. The amused one was Magnus. That's my guess. I gripped my skull and slid down the hall with a soft groan. Thank you for the lurky turkey. Have a good day or a good night. The voices argued, and I let my head drop against my knees. I remembered the rainbow room, the woman shooting at us, a man with strange eyes, but not much more. How long had I been unconscious, and where was I now? Someone tried to open the door again, and I struggled to my feet to respond with another glass jar. Stay away! There were a few moments of silence. The door opened a few centimeters. We're not going to hurt you. I said stay away. I readied another glass jar just in case. Out of curiosity, and I'm making a guess here that this is Magnus, what will you do once you run out of jars? I responded by throwing the one in my hand. The door slammed shut, but this time I heard laughter. Ah! I hit the floor again. Sounds like a troll, and my man is a troll. Straining to hear what was being said outside over the roar of the blood in my ears. I was so hot, dizzy. My heart felt like it was about to explode. What should I do now? So how long do you think this standoff will last? The man with the amused-sounding voice. She shouldn't be out of bed, awake or not. Much less tearing through the hall screaming and throwing things. It's a wonder she can even move. Magnus is like, oh, fun. Exactly. He's aloof. And the other unknown man, I'm guessing, is Caleb. Maybe I'm wrong, but... At the last check, she was still running a high fever. Oh no, this is a random doctor. At the last check, she was still running a high fever, and her blood pressure was very neatly at the level of hypertensive crisis. That was a different voice, one I hadn't heard before. Huh. What were you fools doing that she slipped past you anyway? Well, she woke up pretty damn suddenly. We weren't expecting her to bolt up and knock one of us out. Oh, that was you joining the fold. You as a cranky doctor. Oh. She broke my glasses, too. That would be Caleb, I bet. Does Caleb have glasses? That would be Magnus, I bet. She broke my glasses, too, right? Or I guess a cranky doctor could have glasses. So now there were at least 3 people, the grumpy voice, the amused voice, and someone else. You imbeciles, we need to get her out of here. Out of there. Guess what, Esh? I was reading perfectly. With no mistakes. For 2 whole hours. Until you showed up. And all of a sudden, I keep tripping over my words. What's that about? Stop using your fey powers on me. At the moment, she seems intent on throwing something at anyone who opens the door. Am I supposed to believe that this is enough to stop you lot of monsters? A 4th voice broke in there. If we startle her too much, she may... I couldn't keep up anymore. I shut my eyes. Though it didn't stop the feeling of everything spinning like crazy, the voices faded to a dull murmur. Magnus can't see no mo, weakling me who wears glasses. Right? I scowled and jerked my head up. The movement set my vision reeling, and I had to brace myself against the nearby cabinet to stay upright. The figure silhouetted in the door. They were familiar. It was the grumpy guy, the tall kidnapper, the blonde guy from before, the doctor from the hallway. Is this going to tell us which ally we are selecting? If that's the case, then I want to pick the blonde guy from before, because then it's probably
Magnus, yes, I'm here to troll you and flirt with you. And later, we're gonna bone. Yes!
Am I right or am I right? I'm gonna pick the blonde guy from before, but first I'm gonna save it. Just in case I'm wrong. Yes, says Esh, don't worry. There is a notifier that tells you whose route it is. Ooh, I love that you do that. It really makes things so nice so that you're not just completely in the blind, you know. There's a lot of Otome games that I've played where it's kind of a gamble whose route you're going to end up on. And you have to have a guide to even have a chance of getting the guy's route that you want. You know? Real. I'm feeling that way with Hakuoki right now. And there's 12 love interests, and it's a gamble to try and get the one you want out of 12. Seriously, there's there's no hints. The blonde guy from before. Yes, we will unlock Magnus's route. Do you want to proceed? Y'all, we are about to begin Magnus' route. Look at him. His glasses are not on his face. It was his glasses we broke. Look at him without glasses. He's so adorable. He's so hot. I love him. Hi, Magnus. Oh, can you see me? Hi. Am I blurry? How many fingers am I holding up? How blind are you without your glasses? Y'all, I wear glasses too. I usually wear contacts though. I much prefer my contacts. My contacts are so comfortable. I don't like the feeling of my glasses on my face, you know, like they don't feel comfortable. I don't like the weight of them across the bridge of my nose or the weight of them on my ears. So I love my contacts, but I do wear glasses and my eyesight is horrible. The man stood in the doorway briefly before stepping into the room. I couldn't see him clearly, but I was sure it was the blonde man from earlier, the one I'd hit in the head. Why did he seem familiar? Because you met him, girl. Wait, I met him. His name was, Emily. Wait, no. That couldn't be right.
Do you remember me, little queen?
Stay away from me.
Ha ha. Sorry? That would be a bit of a problem, since I have to talk you into returning to your room.
I struggled to my feet, keeping my back against the wall.
Are you sure you want to do that? You look very much like you're about to pass out.
Who are you? I met you, didn't I? Before.
You did? Do you remember my name? No, that's not right at all. You really have forgotten, haven't you?
I let out a low hiss of anger. That's what you told me your name was. He paused, tapping his chin thoughtfully.
Oh, you're right. I completely forgot.
I knew he was going to forget. I knew it. I called that. The moment he told us his name was Amir, I was like, watch him forget that he called us Amir. And he's going to be like, who's that? And it just happened. I'm a genius.
I apologize. I couldn't be upfront with you at that time. But I'm Magnus Ulrich. Some say I'm the leader of Endgame.
Endgame? Wait. He's the leader? He's the man in charge. I faltered as a vague memory filtered back to me. An alley, a woman in white, a man named Ari. He's an idiot?
Remembering now, you chose to come here with our agents.
He was close enough now that I could see his features through the haze, the blonde hair, the smug little smile. So he sent Ari and Caleb to kidnap us, didn't he? He is an idiot? He stretched a hand out and I reacted instinctively. No! I pushed off the wall and launched myself at him. He staggered backwards, blocking my arm. I knew there wasn't much strength behind the attack. I just wanted to get past him. Get out! I needed to go home. He caught my arm and stepped back. Now, I'm not. He let out a surprising yell as something rolled away from us. Then he went sprawling, dragging me down with him. I landed against him with a painful thump and didn't move. I landed right on top of this man, didn't I? Yes, that's why I said when he's like, I'll see you later. He knew full well what was about to happen. Wow, Magnus. You know what? I didn't figure that he was going to be the boss. I didn't get that one. I didn't know he was going to be their leader. Everything spun around me. I was hot and nauseous and in pain. Magnus shifted beneath me. Hello? I tried to push myself up on shaking arms to glare at him. Please, I need to go home. I'm afraid that's not possible. You very much agreed to come here yesterday. His expression softened. You really don't remember it, do you? I don't. No. My head hurts. My arms gave out again, and I just let myself fall back onto his chest. It's so romantic. We fell on him romantically. He slid an arm around me, stroking my hair. Oh, I like that. I'm sure this is all frightening for you. The amusement was gone from his voice as he whispered to me. He's whispering. He's holding us. I like that. You're still very ill. When you're better, I can explain everything. I don't want to be here. I know. After a few moments, he shifted out from under me, holding me so I didn't fall. What are you? Before I could finish, he lifted me very carefully into his arms. Is this a bridal carry? He's so strong. We need to get you back to your room, but I'll stay by you. If you wake up and don't remember where you are, I'll explain it all to you once more. However many times it takes, even if you hit me again. Oh, Magnus. I love him. Bride. I didn't know what he was talking about. His voice sounded far away and faint, but soothing. And I let it lull me into a blissful sleep. I was somewhat aware that he took me into the hall and spoke to other people there, and somewhat aware of being carried back to my room. But along the way, I completely blacked out, and after that, I wasn't sure how long I slept. Through it all, I imagined a gentle hand holding mine, and a very soft voice talking to me and telling me I would be okay. I love him. He swept my heart away. I'm swooned. I'm swooned. Yes, Magnus. Yes. Magnus Root, Chapter 1, Nascence. Y'all, we have officially begun Magnus's route. Yes. I was drifting in and out of consciousness. Or I thought I was. Maybe I was just dreaming. He's charming when he's not being a butt. He's smooth, says Yuri, not gonna lie. Yes. Or perhaps I was dreaming in between falling in and out of consciousness. Everyone has to be a butt sometimes. Everything was a jumble, a kaleidoscope of images I couldn't quite piece together in the moments of lucidity before the fog crept back in. I remember telling someone I wanted to go home, and I remember them saying that I couldn't leave. I argued I could go if I wanted, my voice slurred but confident. At one point I thought I was in a lobby of some kind. There were startled voices and shouts. I was running. But then I wasn't, and I was just in bed. And the steady drone of medical equipment and a stringent smell of hospital returned. Another time, there was cool air and the sound of traffic, a hum of confused voices around me. That also faded, and I was back in the room the next time I awoke. I didn't know what was happening. I was so tired, and my head hurt. In fact, my head hurt through it all, a dull throb that never let up. A familiar blonde face fuzzed into view. He was worried, saying something I struggled to understand. Hi, Magnus. Now he has another cute outfit on. I quite like it. He wears all blacks and whites. I've only seen him wear black, or I've seen him white, or I've seen him wear black and white, but I've never seen him wear any other color. I kind of feel like Endgame's color isn't just white. I feel like it's black and white. You know, like how Esh said, it's a chessboard. Endgame is like black and white. And then crimson is the other side of the board as red. See? See, it makes sense to me. I told him I was fine, and he responded the medical equipment said otherwise. My stats were erratic and worrying. I thought I needed to convince him I was okay so I could leave. There was a shift in my mind. Something I couldn't put into words. Just something that changed. The man looked up with surprise at something behind me, then back down with startled wonder on his face. I was fading too fast to know what he said to me after that. During it all, I partially woke to a dark room and a cold, unfamiliar voice speaking. It's unnecessary. We need to get to know her before you scramble her mind.
Given the capability she's displayed.
Do you think the fact that she has the skill of that magnitude means you get to do what you want?
Well, that she has the skill of that magnitude is why they want to do this.
It's premature to make that judgment now. The argument faded to a dull hum. I shut my eyes and slept again. For how long, I didn't know. The process of coming around again was slow, like surfacing a pool of mud and slogging to the shore with weights tied to each foot. The sounds of the medical equipment bled in first. Weariness tried to drag me back to oblivion, and I almost let it. It was the rush of memories or dreams crowding in that drove me to full wakefulness. And every uncomfortable sensation crashed in at once. The scratchy bedding, dry throat, and restless legs. I made a face as I cracked open an eyelid to peek at the room I was in. White. Clean. Definitely a hospital room and sort of familiar. Oh my gosh, he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding. He's actually there. He stayed overnight. He's watching over us. Oh, he's so pretty. You know who he kind of looks like right now? He looks like Lucas from Vierge. You know? Very pretty. He's a very pretty man. It wasn't until I shifted in the bed that I realized there was someone next to me. His spill of blonde hair coiled around a face, mushed into folded arms. I really like how that was written. He was sleeping, lashes brushing against his cheeks as he frowned into his sleeve. He has very luscious eyelashes. Yuri's losing your mind. You're losing your mind, aren't you, Yuri? Because he's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. Who? Wow, MC has a lot of amnesia. Memory problems are a thing. Real. A memory tugged at my mind. No. I remembered him. Milky says so pretty. I know, he's so pretty. We met in New Albion, didn't we? Without thinking, I reached to brush some strands of hair away. to get a better look at his face. You'd like to wake up to that any time. I know, right? Me too. With his piercing blue eyes. Well, everything that happened during the interlude was when she was half conscious and running high fever. She does have sickness. Yes. Without thinking, I reached to brush some strands of hair away to get a better look at his face. His eyes opened the instant I touched him. Vibrant blue. Beautiful. We're thirsty already. For a long moment, neither of us moved. It was almost as if he wasn't sure where he was or what he was doing there. And he has a soothing voice, you know? He has a deep, soothing voice. He's smooth. He's gorgeous. He's got piercing blue eyes. He's got draping blonde hair and plush, kissable lips. Confusion fogged his eyes and his brows drew together. Then realization washed over his face and he straightened, pasting a smile in place like a mask.
You're awake. What a relief. How are you feeling? Are you thirsty?
He jumped up without waiting for an answer and poured a cup of water from a pitcher next to my bed. He's so excited for us. He fell asleep watching over us, and now he's getting us water. He's being so wonderful. He's making me fall in love. I watched him curiously as he handed it over, then, realizing my hand was shaking, helped me bring it to my mouth.
Slowly now. We wouldn't want to spill it.
His tone was soft, lightly mocking. It irritated me somehow, but I tried to focus on drinking. He is being slightly annoying with mocking us all the time, but I also kind of love it. The water soothed my throat, so I decided to just be grateful for the help.
I'm pleased you didn't attack me this time, thrilling as it was. One elbow to the head is enough for me, thank you. I still have a headache from before. Well, not really, but I did just get my new glasses. I'd prefer you not break them again.
Glasses? Why would you tell me that you had a headache when you don't really? Why? Why would you say that? What was he even talking about? He pulled a pair of narrow-rimmed glasses from his pocket and held them up for me to see.
Glasses are a bit of an oddity, aren't they? But as a king rank, my nano system is quite pared back for safety reasons.
Oh, he's a king! I'm a queen. He's a king. Are we meant to be together? Are we star-crossed lovers? Are we fated lovers? Oh, my! I'm not gonna attack him again. No, I'm gonna kiss him.
Otherwise, it creates some issues when I use my abilities.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna save it because I think this is the first official decision for Magnus's route, I think. So that's my first order of business. My second order of business is this. From here on forth, we don't use any guides, and I don't ask Esh for help. We're going to go in blind, and we're going to just get whatever ending we get. I'm just going to do whatever Rue wants to do. And then whatever ending we get at the very end, we're going to go back to this moment, and we're going to skip through really quickly when we get there. And then we're going to see all of the other endings, everything that we missed. So it will be a 100 completion of Magnus's route. I plan to get all the CGs. I plan to get all the endings, everything that I can for Magnus. It will be a complete run-through series of streams to finish up Magnus. That is my goal. I don't know how many chapters there are in this, but I figure we could probably get through it in a few more streams, you know? If I don't get too distracted, which I've been pretty good about today. I'm proud of myself. I don't think I'm barely gonna have to even edit this VOD. I'm just gonna take out the breaks and that's it, literally. Okay, y'all. Let's get started with this mess. Okay. I'm sorry, who are you again? Amir. Why did I break your glasses? Listen, I'm throwing this one back in his face. Huh? Amir. He's gonna regret ever calling himself that to me. He's gonna regret it. Who? Didn't you tell me your name was Amir? A brief frown came to his face. Perhaps I did. If you remember that, you must recognize me from when we met before. I was wondering why you were staring at me so passionately all this time. I was staring at this man passionately. Though, I did also tell you before, that isn't my actual name. I don't think I was staring passionately. Oh, I was. Maybe if not passionately, I was staring respectfully. Yes, respectfully staring. I knew it sounded too fake to be real. How insulting. I worked hard to come up with that name. Seconds ago, you acted like you couldn't even remember it. Real. I love this banter. Maybe it was just your line of delivery that made it sound fake. That's almost as offensive. He didn't look at all offended when he said that, though. More amused than anything. So, if Amir isn't your real name, what is? Magnus Ulrich? The leader of Endgame? That's... You said I attacked you? I attacked the leader of Endgame? When did that happen? Dang amnesia. Hello. No username. Welcome, you stunner. His hair unfortunately reminds you of Reginald from Tetra's... What? Tetra's dog head. You know what his hair reminds me of? It reminds me of Shiraishi from Collar X Malice, who is one of my favorite husbandos of all time. Oftentimes when people say, Rue, who's your favorite trash bando in all of Otome? I will usually say Shiraishi. You know, I have a few that are like all-time faves. And Shiraishi, or however you say it, he's up there. He is up there. Yes, and Magnus... I have a feeling, Esh, he might. We'll see what happens. I can't name a favorite until I'm done with their route, okay? Has to be 100% completion before I decide somebody's my favorite or not. Or one of my favorites, because real, I have a lot of favorites. Like a lot. A lot. But so far, I really like what I see. Oh, so the one that you're talking about, his full name is Reginald Tetra, and he appears in Cemetery Mary. Kind of an obscure visual novel, or a niche. Cemetery Mary! Would you recommend that? I've not heard of it, but I will look it up if you think it's a good one. Yes! He sat on the edge of the bed, a slight smile still on his face. You made an escape attempt a few days into your stay. You were delirious and frightened, and I took a rather mean elbow to the head in the process. Also insulting because Caleb is far more deserving than I, and he was right there. I love that we're throwing shade on Caleb now. Caleb deserved that. And I'm going to let my dog out of here so she'll start barking. I shall return shortly. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for holding. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm back, Stunners, and Penny has been kicked out of here. She's in the other room where she has access to go outside as much as she wants. Yep. Usually, though, the dogs prefer to hang around me. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I am, that's where they are, usually. But Penny has been banished. Yep. And Bo ran out there with her. They're probably going to go play, you know. They're going to go play. Yep. They'll probably be back clawing at the door momentarily, you know. That's probably going to happen soon. That's what they do, you know. They usually prefer to be right next to me, like I'm glue or something. But occasionally they want to go bark at stuff, you know, butterflies farting in the wind, my husband coming home. They want to eat his food if he's eating dinner, you know. They sit and stare and beg, make sad puppy eyes. And they think if they stare sadly enough, that we'll cave and give them food. Which I usually do. If I'm eating stuff that's dog friendly, you know, then I'll be like, here you go, you can have some steamed broccoli. But anyway, let us continue our story. Oh, and by the way, you say that a lot of the cemetery Mary, it's a hard recommend. Gotcha. Good to know. And I took a rather mean elbow to the head in the process. Also insulting because Caleb is far more deserving of it than I, and he was right there. I love that line. He was right there, and he is far more deserving. That is a good point. I agree. If it's the same Caleb I've met, I may be inclined to agree with that. Yes, I do agree. Not a fan of our little Kale. Not terribly, no. He did kidnap me. So why did you choose to come here with him, if you view him as a kidnapper? I'm curious, Rue. Well, that's... Perhaps you are a fan of our little Ariel instead. He seems to have a lot of fans. You know what? Free games are always a positive. You know, if a game, like you say, if it's a hard recommend but it's free, you know, there you go. There you go. Oh, you're gonna get this game? You're gonna get this game? Yuri, you should. Because I'm only doing one route, so you're gonna want to play the full thing. Now, I will probably play the rest of this game on my own because I'm really into it. Listen, y'all. This is called Gilded Shadows. It's on Steam. And I'm loving this game. I am loving this game. And if there's, I'm going to put this, let me put the link actually. I want to put the Steam link for your convenience. It's in the description on YouTube. But for those of you who are on Twitch and you don't have the YouTube description handy right there, I'm going to give you the link right now. So that way you can get it for yourself. Because I'm loving this game. I think you would love it. I highly recommend it. I don't do this for every game. I don't like put the link in the chat for every game like this. That like I enjoy every game I play pretty much. But for me to like thoroughly recommend something like this, like this is kind of rare for me to do this. Here you go. There it is. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're on Twitch, I just put it in the chat for you right there. There's going to be a sale soon in the Cyberpunk event. Okay, perfect. There's going to be a sale. Perfect. Also, you know how Steam has like their sales. They have like the fall sale is probably going to be coming up soon. So, you know, I'm sure it could be involved in some of these Steam sales. But yeah, we're gonna watch for the Cyberpunk sale. So yeah, you're welcome, definitely. If you're enjoying this and you want to see the rest of the game, you want to see all of the other love interests, I highly recommend it. This game has been full of action from the first moment it opened up. It was full of action. You know how a lot of stories, they kind of slowly ramp up to it, and that can be great and wonderful for that story. But this one, if you have a attention span that needs more action, this one has action, and it doesn't let up. It's just like action after action after action. Also, I love the art style. I mean, Ash, I love your art, but I think it's really beautiful. Also, I like how intricate it is, but it's still easy to understand. I'm having so much fun with this game. I love that there's 9 love interests, so there's a lot of content here. It's worth every penny. It's worth every penny, real. I bought it and I have no regrets. This is, y'all, I'm gonna say this. I don't say this a lot when I'm in the middle of playing a game. This is one of my favorite Otome games. Most of my favorite Otome games have voice acting. This one doesn't even have voice acting, and it's one of my favorite. I am having so much fun right now with this game. Even if nobody was watching the stream, I would still want to stream a root of it because it's so good. I am so into this. And I will definitely play the rest of this game when I get a chance on my own time because it's incredible. It's amazing. All right. Yes, exactly like the dog. It's worth every penny. Excuse me. I thought I... Artisan, you're a genius. Artisan is a genius. Like, for real, Artisan really is a genius. Artisan is a computer engineer type of genius. Artisan says stuff I don't understand on a regular basis. Also, Artisan is my programmer for the game I made a visual novel. It's called Sorry About the Mess. Artisan was he's the programmer. And we're making another game. I'll tell you at the end, my announcements at the end. But yes, thank you, Artisan. Thank you for being the programmer. Appreciating you. Let us continue our story. All right, I'm gonna back it up to here so that way I can more easily cut this whole section out from when I went to let the dogs out in the on the YouTubes later. Let us begin our story. And I took a rather mean elbow to the head in the process. Also insulting because Caleb is far more deserving of it than I, and he was right there. If it's the same Caleb I've met, I may be inclined to agree with that. Not a fan of our little Kale. Kale is such a cute nickname for him, real. Not terribly, no. He did kidnap me. So why did you choose to come here with him if you view him as a kidnapper? I'm curious, Rue. Well, that's... Perhaps you are a fan of our little Ari instead. He seems to have a lot of fans. Yep, I am a fan of him. I suppose girls like the quiet types, don't they? We definitely don't enjoy the patronizing types that don't allow us to finish sentences. I like that MC is sassy. Is that so? It is. I'll make note of it. So this man is the leader of Endgame. That was hard to swallow.
I thought I heard voices. So, you're awake.
I hadn't heard the door open, so I visibly started when someone else spoke. This man, I remembered him at the very least, even though the events of that day seemed almost like a dream. Ari stood in the door for a moment, watching us before a frown crossed his face.
Magnus, I believe Dr. Sasaki asked to be informed the moment she awakened.
His frown deepened as his gaze fell to something on my bedside table. Magnus snatched it up, rushing to place it on his wrist. That fake-looking smile working its way back to his face. Yuri's been swept away with love for Ari. She says, I need him to stop showing up like that. He's far too hot. Ah! Real though.
Do you mind explaining why you weren't wearing that?
What is that? I do mind, actually. Thank you for asking. What's going on? Ari is the Queen's knight. He cannot stop showing up. I kind of love that. That's kind of romantic. There was most definitely a clash of wills happening as the two stared at each other, but neither of them bothered to answer my question. You know, Rue, you're far calmer at coming face to face with one of your kidnappers than I expected. Given the last time you... What a painfully obvious attempt to change the subject. For his part, Ari just seemed mildly exasperated, but he didn't press the subject of the device Magnus put on his wrist.
Please stop referring to me as a kidnapper. All things considered, we are not wholly responsible for the manner in which we apprehended her.
Apprehended? I'm not a criminal. Okay, I did refuse to register, which I admit put me out of legal compliance with Esper regulations. So maybe, technically... That is true, I suppose, since I'm the one that ordered you to do it after all. So you're the one I have to thank for that lovely afternoon drive. It made sense, of course, considering he was the commander of the forces here. Though, I struggled to imagine him giving orders. That made sense, and were effective.
Magnus did not.
I did give the order. For a moment, I looked between the two of them, wondering what that was about. But I ultimately decided there was too much other stuff to worry about than whatever internal politics went on here. I'm sorry. Can we please backtrack? What's that thing you're supposed to be wearing, and why?
That thing is a psi inhibitor. All elite members are to wear them when in close proximity to you. That includes Magnus.
So why weren't you wearing it? It's uncomfortable having my psi suppressed, and with you unconscious, I didn't see any harm in taking it off. He is the boss. I guess he could just do what he wants.
She's been off and on conscious the past 8 days, and we still had to implement the protocol, Magnus.
Wait. Why are you inhibiting your psi around me in the first place? Is that a normal procedure?
Hardly. Since your arrival, your psi has been unstable and power surging.
Are you talking about Magnus? He can do what he wants, especially to me. That's how I feel about Magnus too, as of right now.
On multiple occasions, you mimic the psi abilities of other people, including myself and Magnus.
Oh, you're talking about both.
This has not only led to several unauthorized ventures outside the med ward, but also an ongoing exacerbation of your condition. Though the doctor held you in a temporary coma for a short period of time, it was only marginally successful at containing the situation.
If there are psi inhibitors, why not just give me one?
We have discovered your psi cannot be suppressed with our current devices.
Good. Good. My gaze flicked back and forth between the two of them as I tried to gauge what that meant. Am I the most powerful of them all? I am, aren't I? Wow, I'm the best. I'm the best. That's a dangerous thing to say about Magnus. He will take you up on it. Ari is too much of a gentleman. Yuri's gonna ruin Ari. Oh no. Is that a common problem?
It is a unique attribute of your psionic energy.
So, if the situation was that severe, again, why were you not wearing it, Mr. Ulrich? As soon as I said that, he broke into incredulous laughter.
Goodness, I don't think I've ever been called that in these hallowed halls of Cor Solaris. Please, it's just Magnus, Rue. Magnus, please.
I would really like an answer to my question.
Well, like Ari said, your psi has stabilized a lot, and it's a little too quiet with my psi turned off. Besides, I promised I would stay with you, and it's not safe for me to stay disconnected from things for long. I had absolute faith in your ability to not destroy another infirmary room, and me along with it.
I placed a hand to my forehead, letting out a long sigh. I'm starting to understand why I went for you instead of Caleb last time.
That's mean. I suppose the important thing is you're awake now.
It sounds like the more important thing is that you're not wearing the psi inhibitor didn't cause any issues.
Ah, you could be right about that. Ari, since you are so concerned about it, perhaps you should inform Dr. Sasaki Rue is awake. I'm sure he could answer more of her questions than we can.
After a slight pause, Ari gave a curt nod and left the room.
I'm sure you have a great many questions for all of us. You will handle the ones on the medical side. As for the rest, I might be able to help with some of them. Right now, the uppermost question in my mind has to do with why the head of Endgame.
Oh, that's me talking. Right now, the most uppermost question on my mind has to do with why the head of Endgame is watching over me.
Does it seem strange to you?
It does. I assume you have better things to do.
I told you I would stay with you and explain things to you if you forgot them again.
If you told me that when I was half conscious, there was no reason to actually do it. I'd never have known either way.
I like to keep my word. Breaking a promise because the other person can't remember it seems especially odious, doesn't it?
I like how he talks. I like his vocabulary. I like that he keeps his promises. And I like that faraway gaze in his eyes. And I like how concerned he is about us.
But more than that, you're a queen rank. I know you don't have an official position yet, but you'll be moved into the first guard as soon as you're officially instated. I'm sure we'll see a lot of each other going forward.
First guard?
The two top-ranked teams in Endgame, the King's Guard and Queen's Guard.
Do I get a say in that? Because if I do, I'm afraid I'm going to decline. I've no interest in such a high-ranking position.
As a queen rank, it's unlikely there are many other options for you.
So, I get about as much say in my position as I had in coming here at all.
I don't know about that. You had other choices at the time Ari and Caleb encountered you again, did you not? At the very least, our Moirai system seems to believe there were other outcomes for events of your...
What's a Moirai? I want to click on that.
Moirai
The Moirai are a non-public group that functions as a source of advice for the Endgame Council. This group is made up of multiple, usually 3 or more bishops, who are especially adept at precognition. The Moirai keep their eyes on future possible events that could spell trouble for Arcalis and Endgame as an organization. Using their foresight, the Moirai help Endgame act on threats before they occur, or they prep ahead for threats that are on the horizon. Ooh, they know the future. That's crazy. However, the future is a tricky beast, and often inaction is a better path than action. The Moirai are directly responsible for how often Endgame takes a conservative approach to its involvement in world events, as they cannot only see what threats are looming, but also what Endgame's involvement may yield, for better or for worse. Though not everyone can appreciate what tragedies their guidance has helped Arcalis avoid, they continue to work quietly in the shadows to lead everyone toward a, hopefully, positive future. Woo! Woo! Now we know. At the very least, our Moirai seem to believe there were other outcomes to the events of your kidnapping, like a butterfly effect. I was going to say recruitment, arrest perhaps, but kidnapping is fine if you prefer that. I don't prefer it. It's just the word that fits best because that's exactly what it was, real. Perhaps, though, some would argue arrest is more accurate, all things considered. I know. I don't think arrest is accurate. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm innocent, okay? Triflin. Triflin! I ran my finger slowly along my brow bone before massaging my temple. I have a headache. I could feel a headache coming on. There's time enough to talk about that later. You've only just woken up. For now, you should focus on your recovery. At least tell me one thing. I'll answer if I can. Why? I understand that if you found out somehow I was a queen rank, it was natural to recruit me. But why did it happen like that? Why did 2 of your agents grab me off the street like that? Can you at least tell me that much? I don't understand why you didn't approach me normally instead of throwing me into all of that. Yeah, you know what? It was pretty unnecessary. That was uncalled for. That was seriously uncalled for. How could you? How dare you? I'm highly upset. Highly upset. Oh my gosh. He was silent for a brief space before he answered. Rue, by the time we learned of your existence, other factions were already on their way to retrieve you. You're an F-class Esper. Are you aware of that? All I knew was that I possessed more psi than the planetary standard. I knew nothing else about my rank or classification. I speculated. That's all. I thought you must be aware of it when I saw that you tested positive for psi as a young child. If you know that much, you know it was later determined to be a false positive. Even so, you were part of an overgrowth event, one that permanently affected you and some other students involved. One of my hands strayed to my hair. What does overgrowth have to do with anything? It seems you aren't aware then. Though nano-overgrowth seems to happen spontaneously sometimes, we've also traced it to the awakening of some types of espers. Are you saying that I caused that? It is difficult to say with certainty. It could have been caused by the awakening of your psi, Or perhaps it's the event that awakened your sigh. There's no way of knowing for sure. However, all things considered, it's unlikely to be a coincidence. At the very least, based on your records, I assume you must have known you were an Esper. Though it now appears you knew only part of the truth about your ability.
I never did anything that would have led me to believe I was a queen rank or F class.
How ironic then. The fact that you're an F class is why others found you first.
It is ironic. Hello, Minsune's Sylph. She does have a headache. It's called Magnus. Welcome, you stunner. Thank you so much for being here. Bops Magnus over the head with a fly swatter. Do you not like him, Sylph? You don't like him. He would like you to know there are other, better places you can swat with that. Y'all, you should give Sylph a follow. Sylph is a streamer stunner right here on Twitch. Yes. Yes, indeed, and also plays Otome games among other types of games. You like to bully him. He's very bullyable. You know what? I agree. He certainly seems that way. Listen, he's a tease, okay? He likes to tease us. He's a troll. He likes to troll us. And if he's going to troll us, then we're going to troll him right back. That's what he deserves. Real. And I'm going to allow that. I don't know why it wasn't allowed. Magnus, buddy, I'm not smacking your butt unless you want me to. Oh, now I know why the bot didn't like it. Yuri has Automod fighting for its life every day. Real. Fighting for its life. What do you mean by that?
I can sometimes locate the presence of N-class Espers, since their nanosystems emit unusual readings, with higher ranks in particular. But that is not the case for fairy Espers like yourself. We learned of you when Crimson's king rank sent an operative to retrieve you.
I thought you were the only king rank Esper on Arcalis.
No, I'm afraid that's quite inaccurate.
Aren't you supposed to be rare?
We are, yes.
But this other king rank that happens to exist also happened to find me when you couldn't. You and Automod are in a love-hate relationship. It's true.
Correct. After all, he is an F-class like yourself, and he is able to locate other F-class Espers. Thus, he sent Jack Visser to acquire you.
Jack is with Crimson, not the court. He tricked me. I guessed because if he was wearing red, I was like, oh, I bet he's with Crimson. I said it. I was like, he's with Crimson. Look at him. He's wearing red. But then he said he was with the court. And then I was like, well, maybe the court is part of Crimson. But that doesn't sound right. Well, it turns out Jack has played us all along. He is a playboy. How dare! It's true, I hadn't fully trusted him, but he was with Crimson. He'd seemed like a decent person. If he was with Crimson, though. If I had gone with him...
I've been aware for some time that Kesa, the Anchetto, has ties to the court. But that part wasn't a lie.
Oh! Kesa,
He held up a hand. I know you have many questions, but my time to answer them is limited, and we have gone far off track already. The point, Rue, is that we had a very narrow window of opportunity to verify your status and act. We needed to be sure you were the target Crimson was after, and that they weren't attempting to throw us off the trail of the real queen. We didn't want to give undue attention to a false target, thus endangering a civilian. Yet, we didn't want others who were lurking about to be certain you were the target. It was tricky, shall we say. Caleb and Ari were to take you quickly and quietly as soon as your identity was confirmed. Well, they didn't either. Real. They suck at kidnappings. Yeah, if you want them to do that more often, you're gonna have to like get them training or something because they were terrible. Though I wasn't sure a quick and quiet abduction would have been less harrowing. It would not have been. Perhaps I should reprimand them then? Would that make you happy? I can do so. You know what? Caleb deserves to be reprimanded. You should yell at him. Yell at Caleb. Yes. Tell him he should be gentle next time, okay? He doesn't need to grab me by the arm constantly, yank me around. That was not okay, okay? Not necessary. Is there any point to something like that now? Personal satisfaction. I like the way you think. I rubbed my face, letting out another tired sigh. There was no way I could be that petty. Actually, I could be that petty. I'd be more satisfied if I could contact my family now that I'm awake. Do they even know what happened? They must be worried sick. Never fear. They are aware of the situation, and there will be time for you to speak with them later. So literally everybody knows stuff except us. Real. Even my family knows stuff. Ain't nobody tells me nothing. Come on, what the heck? Ain't nobody tell me nothing. For the time being, you won't be allowed to contact them directly. Not until we've settled their relocation and... What? Relocation? Oh, what does that mean? Well, that's true. I was unconscious for 8 days. I guess it was within that amount of time that my family was contacted. Ah, that's, His eyes went wide, clearly not having expected an emotional reaction. For a moment, he looked almost as if he didn't know how to respond to the sudden outburst. It's just that His voice faltered. What's going on, Magnus? That is, they. I believe that is quite enough for now. You've answered enough questions. Oh, I finally see the unknown man. Unknown person. Did I not tell you I permitted you to stay only as long as you did not disrupt my patient's recovery? I'm not disrupting her recovery. Ru Jitaru, I need you to calm yourself. Oh, it's the unknown person. Ru Jitaru, I need you to calm yourself right now. If your emotional state causes more unconscious psi use, the painstaking effort I spent to repair the brain damage already done by the overtaxation of your abilities will go to waste. The mention of brain damage was enough for me to clamp my mouth shut, any potential argument dying on my lips. I swallowed nervously, the issue with my family forgotten for the moment. Are you my doctor? Dr. Yu Sasaki. Sasaki. Is that how they would say it? In Japan, would they say like Sasuke? You know? Like Yusuke instead of Yusuke? Sasuke? Sasaki? I don't know. I'm gonna... And actually, I don't know the origin of that name. I know nothing. I don't know how to pronounce nothing, and I know the origins and the beginnings of nothing. I'm Jon Snow. I know nothing. Dr. Yu Sasaki. I'm the chief medic of Endgame and the head of the medical division, and yes, you are under my direct care. So, this was the Dr. Sasaki they'd mentioned earlier. Somehow he didn't look the way I'd imagined. I pictured someone more intimidating, though I reconsidered when I saw the glare he gave Magnus. He may be small, but he's definitely not to be trifled with. That's what that look meant. Magnus Ulrich. I'm calling him like used to be called Sasuke Dr. Sausage. Dr. Sausage? What? Why? I know your penchant for irresponsible behavior is close to legendary in all divisions of Endgame, including mine. but I thought I taught you the need to follow my rules when in my infirmary. Tell him. He's got many nicknames. On the server, he's Dr. So Sexy. Oh, I like that. Dr. Sexy. Is it possible your equally legendary forgetfulness necessitates a follow-up lesson on the consequences of disobeying my rules? No. I'm good. I wrote myself a memo. Though it is in my office at the moment. You're such a troll, Magnus. Such a troll. You're just getting under Sasuke's skin right now. And tell me why you did not immediately inform me that my patient had regained consciousness. Well, I was talking to her and you appeared to be upsetting her, not talking. As he spoke, Dr. Sasuke moved to the bedside, tipped my head towards him, and pulled a pen light out of his pocket to shine in my eyes by turn. Ouch! That was kind of dramatic, MC. You're fine. I sat obediently, still, as he felt beneath my jaw, wondering why that was necessary. He's feeling your lymph nodes. Probably. Maybe. You can't wait to start your playthrough once you finish your current progress. Oh, are you playing this game right now, Sylph? I couldn't say Sasuke, so sausage was the closest thing. My brain sometimes connects things. For instance, Owen from Low Effort Romance. You call him Mango Papaya because you forgot his name at first and his hair looked like a mango. Wow. You play this game a lot? Wow, this game, Sylph. Before you showed up today earlier, I declared that this is one of my favorite Otome games. One of my favorites already. I haven't even finished it. I've just begun. It's already one of my favorites. I love it. I do have good taste, thank you. Oh, so do you, Stunner. Yeah, why are you being rough with me, sir? Sometimes people get upset when they talk. It's a natural emotional response to... Magnus Ulrich, did you gain a medical degree in the last 20 hours? You always ask me this. And the answer remains no, does it not? I like how sassy he is. This man, this doctor, he's giving Magnus the slap down right now, and I'm kind of enjoying that, I'm not gonna lie. I listened to them bicker while the doctor set what I assumed was a scanner against my temple. You did Maggie, Kale, and Ari already this year, so you is next, then Jack after. Oh, perfect. I believe it's time for you to leave. I permitted you to stay only until she awakened. Ariel also informs me you were not wearing the psi inhibitor. Ari snitched. You got snitched on. You're a snitch, Ari. Ari, I realized, was standing near the doorway listening in. Magnus shot him a glare. Ari, you're such a square. You're such a good boy, aren't you? You follow rules. Ari is like, rules must be followed. I will follow the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, I will report you, even if you're my boss. That's Ari. Ari, that's referred to as treason. I have not, as far as I am aware, sworn allegiance to you. Oh, you have not sworn allegiance to Magnus? I thought he was your boss. Ari has no loyalty to Magnus. Real. I'm starting to get that. I'm starting to get the feeling that Ari doesn't like Magnus all that much. As I am the knight of the Queen's Guard, my first loyalty is to Rue. Oh, did you hear that? He's loyal to me. He's my knight. Y'all, I'm liking Ari more and more. Stop, Ari. This is not your route, Ari. Stop swooping in here and making me swoon. Stop it. He's like my personal bodyguard or something. That's why he's so protective. Yes. Oh my god, I bet his root is so good. I bet it's so romantic. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't wait to play the rest of this game. In case you fools have forgotten, you are currently in a medical ward. My medical ward. If you elect not to leave when asked, I will personally throw you out. Miss Jitteru may be your new queen rank, but she is my patient for the time being, and I refuse to overwhelm her with too much information right after waking. Ash, you need to stop selling Ari to me. You know you want him. We'll never stop. It will never stop. Ari is just a stealth gremlin. He seems serious, but he's actually a brat in disguise. Even better. Oh my god, stop. 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 You're making us swoon. Okay? Okay? You're fortunate I permitted you to stay this long.
But I wanted.
Ariel, please remove him. He glanced down at the scanner without sparing another look their way, and I almost laughed at Magnus cowering when Ari approached him. This is so good. I love their dynamics together. I love good character interactions, and this is juicy and thick, and I love it. It's extra thick with 2 C's. Yes! I wasn't sure how much of this was just for my sake, but this odd little drama playing out sent me one message. Endgame was nothing like the enormous, monolithic, and terrifying group I thought it was.
Wait, Ari, Rue.
He barely got my name out before Ari teleported them away. He didn't just push him out the door, he teleported him out the door. Oh my god. The doctor let out a soft sigh as soon as they were gone. He turned to look at me again, tapping a handheld display against his chin as he studied me. Dilation of the conjunctival vessels, persistent plethora. Mild tachycardia persists. He murmured the words half to himself rather than to me directly. How are you feeling, Rue? Tired, I guess. A little dizzy. Jittery. There is a jitter in the Rue. That's to be expected. Psi fatigue has an acute effect on the nervous system. Those symptoms will lessen over the next few days, provided there is no more stress to your mind. Anything else? Visual distortions, numbness, weakness in the limbs. None. He's very doctor. I know how to pronounce some of those words. I do. It is tachycardia. Yep. Hi, Otome Shimai. Welcome, you stunner. Thank you for being here. Hello. I glanced down at my hands curled in my lap. Visual distortions. I don't know. I rubbed at my eyes. Not that he mentioned it. It's not uncommon for newly awakened espers to report changes in vision. Elements of the phoric system are known to extend into the optic nerve and parts of the eyes. Wow! Your pupillary light reflex is sluggish as a result. I'm not newly awakened, though. While true, the symptoms I've observed during your stay somewhat resemble those of a newly awakened esper. I hypothesize it's because of your natural inclination to keep your psi repressed. Indeed, you did so over many years, preventing normal development. It's like I'm a lab rat to you. That's what I feel like. Quit looking at me like I'm some kind of experiment. Stop it. When exposed to a high-stress situation, thanks to the ludicrous decision to grab you off the street like common kidnappers, you experienced a phenomenon we refer to as a power surge. Oh, okay, oh, yes. It was a sudden release of your psi, followed by a rapid and drastic expansion in the magnitude of your psi waves. Why is he describing the symptoms of dysautonomia? Apparently it shares the same symptoms with psi sickness or whatever this is. So, my psi has become stronger. Ash says, I don't know, man. I was just making it up as I went along. Ash was like medical jargon. Jargon. Words. Yes. Use dialogue was an endeavor as me looking up stuff nonstop on Google. I love that. Let's put more medical jargon in here. And then he's just gonna like spew it out to the patient. Just spew it all out to the patient. Oh, okay, this is from the Googles. Dysautonomia is a broad term for conditions where the autonomic nervous system fails to regulate involuntary body functions like heart rate, blood pressure, and digestion. From the Googles. Ashberry, me typing, what is a technical term for tears? You, lacrimal fluid. Oh, yes. And then, so it's Vicky who's talking right now, right? Because you say, I have a type of dysautonomia. Dysautonomia. It's the thing that you have. And so you were confused. Real. You were like, wow, it's Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Stunner. See, we've all learned something today. Yeah, you're magic. You're special. You're a queen. According to this, you're a queen. Vicky is a secret Esper, confirmed. Yep. Yeah. You're an Esper. You're an Esper, and Esh is a Fae. I'm still convinced that Esh is not quite human. I am still convinced that Esh is a type of a Fae. I still don't know what type of Fae yet. I'm not sure about what kind. But it is confirmed in a previous Esh game that I played. Esh is a Fae. Esh says I confirm and deny nothing. Vicky says, thank you for making me magic. You are magic, though. It's confirmed that you are magic. You were magic before. You were already magic. Now we just know for sure. Yep, you're an Esper. Simply put, yes. However, the catastrophic nature of your power surge also left you with a severe case of psi fatigue that has exacerbated the rest of your symptoms. The fact that this man has zero patient side, like, what's the word? Etiquette? He has like zero patient etiquette. It's like he's just blurting out all of this technical jargon. Like this man, oh my God, he's a lot. Visual disturbances, migraines, dizziness, tachycardia, hypertension. You're likely to experience all these symptoms in the upcoming days. Am I gonna live? Real, girl. You're gonna be fine. I gave him a weary smile when he looked my way, one eyebrow raised before returning the smile. I expect so. That's a relief. It would be annoying to go through all that only to die now. Real. Quite. I believe much of the medical staff would find it so as well. We endured quite the ordeal to stabilize you. Sorry about that. I heard about some of it. There's a plot reason he uses the jargon, but he's honestly a sweet guy. Lol. And surprisingly smooth and flirty in his route. Ooh, I can't wait. Oh. I don't remember, though. That's to be expected. What happens to me now? You recover. That is your only focus for the time being. Everything else can wait. He has, like, probably some condition where he has to blurt everything that comes into his brain. He has to answer fully and completely in full technical jargon. Yep. Do you know anything about the situation with my family? Magnus was in the middle of explaining it when you came in. Ah, I see. The cause of the emotional distress. Yes, I'm very distressed emotionally. Because of Magnus. That condition is called being a nerd. Okay, fair. Unfortunately, I have minimal details regarding your family situation. Oh, that's your favorite condition? Nerdism. The condition of being a nerd. You know what? It's a good condition. I know only that they were relocated to Airfrey as a precaution in the event another faction might attempt to threaten them to get to you.
Is that a thing that happens regularly? Did everyone's family have to live in secret somewhere? That was terrible.
It is not something that happens at all. In your case, as you've come to realize, is unusual. Most espers are brought here as children. Unlike you, those children are not being sought by numerous criminal factions. MC problems. Main character problems, y'all. Real. For safety reasons, the family records of all our agents are classified when the child is recruited. Their locations, status, and relation to individual members is concealed from the public. You write about nerds a lot. When Stars Collide is all about a ship of science nerds. Thornwood's MC is a magic nerd. MC of GS is a history nerd. Gilded Shadows. We are a history nerd. Perfect. The best people are nerds. They really are. I'm a nerd! I raise my hand. You wanna know why? Because Rue is a genius. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rue is a genius, therefore I get to be a nerd in Esh's little nerd circle. Okay? Alright? I've established myself. There was no time for that with my family since people like Crimson already knew who I was. So naturally, they'd have known my family members as well. Rue is an Otome nerd. Yes, I am. Her nerdiness really comes out in some roots. Not quite as much in Maggie's. Okay. Yes. You know what else I'm nerdy about? Esh? Ancient Roman history. Ancient Roman history and mythology. And I still remember a little bit of ancient Roman Latin language. Like I could still say a few things. I can still like translate a little bit of it. But I studied that for a long time and I still nerd out to it. My Animal Crossing island, I went back and fully researched a Hellenistic city so that way it would be perfectly like accurate to a Hellenistic ancient Roman, like in the neoclassical era, a Greco-Roman city. There's a few Greek mythology references in Case's route. Ooh, perfect. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, before I start nerding out too much and getting distracted and then having to edit a whole bunch, I'm gonna focus. Right? Yeah. That is correct. As such, your family has been relocated and is under guard for the time being. That is all I know. Because otherwise I'll get distracted about talking about neoclassical ancient Rome and Greece. Ancient Rome especially. That's the one that I really studied for many years. See, I'm already started. I was going to tell you about my Animal Crossing island. Also, doggies. Yes, I'm obsessed with dogs. I could talk about dogs all day. And sometimes I do. Yep, I could talk about dogs a lot. What if we talk about dogs? We could talk about dogs. We could talk about dogs all day if you wanted to. They're safe. Well, let me read that again. I think I skipped some of that. That is correct. As such, your family has been relocated and is under guard for the time being. That's all I know. My poor family. Did they have any idea that this was going to happen to them? I kind of feel bad for them. Your mom was an archaeologist, so you got to run around ancient ruins. I am so jealous. I've never been to see any ancient ruins like that. Well, I have seen ancient Native American, the ancient cliff dwellings in the United States. But I have never been able to go overseas like that, and I desperately want to. Yeah, that's so awesome.
They're safe. That's the important factor, is it not?
Yes, you're right. It's the important thing. I can't believe they had to be relocated because of me. I'm so stupid. All their lives uprooted and disrupted because of me. They're probably so angry.
Are they in the habit of blaming you for things outside your control?
This wasn't outside my control. I hid the fact I was an Esper. From them. From Endgame. That's why all this happened.
It happened because human beings crave power, even at the expense of others.
Yeah, this is not your fault, girl. Don't put this on yourself. Okay? You had a negligible amount of Esper powers, or so you thought. Okay? No one would have cared. And even so, none of this is your fault, girl. Real. Yeah, tell her. Doctor, tell her. You'll vibe with it since Morgan finds an ancient ruin and meets some archaeologist types. Oh my god. Lance is your secret favorite? Oh my gosh. Esh has a favorite. Esh just said one of her children is her favorite. And it's Lance. Secret love interest.
It happened because humans crave power, even at the expense of others.
If I hadn't hidden my status, there wouldn't have been anyone for people to come after.
Why did you hide it then?
I guess I was afraid. You know? That's what I want to say. I was scared. I guess I was afraid. Oops.
Of?
Coming here, I just never wanted to join Endgame. I was afraid if anyone knew the truth, they'd make me. And every dream I had would. I let out a harsh, sad laugh. And here I am anyway. It hurts more now than it would have as a child. And on top of that, it's affected my family. I never wanted that. You don't usually pick favorites until well after a game is complete. But this game released in 2022, so you're allowed. Ash, what's your favorite game that you've created? If you're just like playing it, do you have a favorite of your own games? Spicy question. And you like things about different roots, but you like Lance's story and Lance as a character. That's why. Ooh. Ooh. All those years of being afraid someone would find out. All the years of being careful. Probably this one is your favorite. I can see it. Real. And the years of studying, breaking my back to get into prime tier. Wasted. It was all pointless, wasn't it?
It's my observation that few life experiences are pointless. Events outside our control often force us to reevaluate our plans or shift the course of our lives to meet our circumstance. That unexpected change can be traumatizing. But I have no doubt your family have encountered this sort of situation in their lives before now. Regardless of the part your choices played in your current circumstance and theirs, I see no value in punishing yourself for the crime of being human. That said, I am no counselor. I will have someone assigned to you, someone you can speak with in more depth about these matters. I'm sure an outside perspective will help you ascertain the best way to address this situation with your family when you next speak to them.
Thank you. I'd like that.
In the meantime, I would like you to rest and not think too much on futile things. There will be more tests this afternoon, but in the meantime,
I'll have them bring in an early lunch. You may take a short walk after, with the company of a nurse. Having been bedridden for days, I want you on your feet for at least some duration today, with appropriate supervision.
Thank you, Doctor.
Of course, it's our duty to care for our patients here. He seems like he's a really good doctor. You know, his bedside manner is a little much with all of his spewing jargon and knowledge at people that are like, what are you even saying? That being said, he's a good person. I feel like he cares about his patients. You know, he seems like he's taking the Hippocratic Oath seriously, and I can respect that. He was looking down at the tablet, muttering to himself as he left me alone again. I sank back into the pillows with a groan. There was so much to take in, so much to think about. I rolled over and tried not to think about it. If not because I promised, then because I didn't want to think about it yet. Can't believe they relocated everyone. What did that mean for them?
Their jobs, their studies.
No matter what Dr. Sasuke said, this was the fallout of my actions. I never expected any of this, or wanted it, and now the path ahead seemed even less certain than before. A few minutes later, someone knocked. A friendly nurse came in to discuss the tests, medication, lunch, everything. It was blissful respite from the inevitable thinking too much on futile things I was doing. I just hoped I'd be able to talk to Mum soon. That would go a long way towards making me feel better about all this. But I had no idea if or when that would happen. I'm going to scroll up and see what y'all are saying over there. I was getting really into the game. Changing was the first game, and it has some things that you'd change. You think that from a game design perspective, it has some issues because you didn't know what you were doing. And you really like When Stars Collide, but you prefer the root structure of Gilded Shadows. I wish I'd done this structure with When Stars Collide, where all the roots are separate. Wait, says Yuri. I just connected. That's why the characters look familiar. I've played your other games. Esh said, what? Bro, how did I not notice? Esh, I love your games. See? We're connecting. That's why we love the Stunner community. People who love games and people who play games and people who love streamers. Listen, there has been so many connections in the community, and I love to see this, where people are like, oh my God, Vicky, I listened to your podcast, you know? Or somebody's like, oh my God, Esh, I played your game. That was you. You know, we have this moment a lot in our community. If you would like to become a stunner, you can join our Discord. Okay. It's the brain, we can brain rot together. It's a weird hodgepodge of people who like romance visual novels. Everyone from devs to just people who just play games and as a hobby, to content creators, and even people who don't play visual novels, but they play adjacent types of games that feature romance, and they just like this kind of content, to, you know, random, there's voice actors in there. There's all kinds of, it's like a weird hodgepodge of people, but for some reason it works. We have a good time in there. It's so much fun. And it's really awesome for me. It warms my heart when moments like this happen, where we get to actually hang out with the people that you know, it's like a dream. It's a dream. It's my dream come true that we all get to be connected, you know? We're all connected together. Okay. Butts are important. I made a butt chart for Gilded Shadows. It was very popular. And this is butt, B-U-T-T, mind you, not B-U-T. That's what she says. A butt chart. Yeah, we needed to know that. Yuri says, big fan of your games. Totally the reason why I started making games. I could cry right now. It's so beautiful. Hey y'all, those of you that are on YouTube, if you want to join the community, there is a link in the description of this stream. But the mascara, I know, my eyeliner, it'll be all the way down my face. All of it. I think it's waterproof. I did spray my face with this with the setting spray. I was like, it was just like that. Exactly like that. I'm gonna have cancer one day. Not a laughing matter. I definitely should not. I shouldn't breathe that stuff in. You're crying? Oh no. You can't eyeliner like this. It will end up on your eyelids. It's the hooded eye thing. You know, the kind of eyeliner that I have, it really helps because it glides on easily, you know, and I kind of just like stretch my eye and then I make a triangle and then I fill it in, you know, and I try to like even it out so that way it's like the wings are even sized and stuff. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes one is a little too big than the other. And then I'll just keep, if I have really big wings, like if they're huge, it's because I kept messing up and I just kept making it bigger to cover up the mistakes until I'm like, it's good enough. That happened. It's happened many times. Okay, anyways, let's keep going with our story. The first time Vika put liquid liner on you, she told you to open your eyes right away. Big mistake. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, you needed to let it dry first. That's so funny. That's precious. All right. And there was too much going on for me to ask anyone else about it for the rest of the day. Chapter 2, the role of the queen. Okay, I was at the very end. Okay, we're going to call it quits for now. I'm going to tell you some updates. And then we're going to raid somebody and spread the love. And there's a bunch of stunners streaming right now. There's a bunch of people in the visual novel space. So I'm going to pick a fun stunner for us to raid. She has gray eyes for makeup. She does have gray eyes. Both of you are stunning. I think it's just depending on like the style of makeup, you know, there's a style of makeup, like everyone's face is different. So this style works well for my face. Okay, I got to save my game. Right here so I can save. And then we can chit chat. Save. Whoop whoop, whoop whoop. You like all my hair colors? Yay! I can save on the chapters. How come I was struggling. I was struggling, Esh. I'm always struggling. I probably could have just hit right clicked, huh? I probably didn't even have to do this the way that I did it just now. I'm such a mess. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just right. I see you even told me that last time and I totally forgot that I could right click. Oh my God. Hi, stunners. Welcome to the other screen. Because I want to chit chat before we head out for the day. Also, let me just take another look at who. Man, there's so many stunners on right now. So many. It's going to be a hard choice to decide who to raid. You know, because I'm trying to like be good about spreading the love. You know, to give everybody love. There's so many people streaming. Okay, so we'll get to that later. But here's what's happening, y'all. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next week. Oh, you appreciate it. Hello on the other screen. Yes. We're moving places. We're going places. Okay. Okay, now I can just chit chat. because why not? Okay, y'all. We just played Gilded Shadows, and we actually managed to get onto Magnus's route. That was our mission, okay? Because here's the deal. I wanted to trash Bando. I wanted a red flag. And everybody said, I got a red flag for you. It's Magnus. Get him, girl. And so I was like, yes, I'm gonna do it. That's who I want. And so I was like, we're gonna pursue Magnus. It's gonna be spicy, and I'm ready. And so far, I am not being disappointed. I am having the time of my life playing this game. I highly recommend it. It's on Steam, so once again, if you want to get this game for yourself, check it out for yourself, head on over to Steam, and there will be a sale, Esh told us, coming up however much soon. There's going to be a sale. So check it out. I'm loving this game. Loving it. There's another game that I want to pick up soon that I still need to purchase because it's the Prince of Tennis, and Vicky is putting together a guide. Vicky made a guide for us, and it's on the new Otome Shimai website. So can I put the link to your Otome Shimai website right here in the chat? Can you do that for us, Vicky? So that way everyone can go click on it and check it out. And if you're interested in the Prince of Tennis and you would like to have a walkthrough, I certainly will. There's a lot of love interest in that. There it is, otomeshimai.com. And for those of you who are on the YouTube, otomeshimai.com, I will copy and paste it in there for you right now on the YouTube side of things. And thank you for being here. There you go. If you like Otome games, you should listen to the podcast. My favorite podcast is Otome Shimai, and it's Vicky and Vika, two sisters who play Otome games. And Vicky says the general gameplay guide is up at least right now. Yes. And I have some other fun announcements, some things I wanted to tell you all about because it's incredible and amazing, and I'm like having the best time of my life right now. All right, announcement number 1. So if you haven't already heard, if you follow me, you've probably seen and heard me posting about this. But I'll do another stream at some point more about it. But I actually decided I'm obsessed with romance games, visual novels, Otome games, dating sims, Amare games. I'm obsessed. And I'm so obsessed, and I love this so much, and I was encouraged by so many of my dev friends that if this is something that I'm interested in doing and being creative in this way, I was encouraged, like, hey, if you want to start making visual novels, why not? Why not do it? And so I decided to go crazy and enter my very first visual novel game into the O2A2 Jam that just recently ended about a week or so, maybe a little more than that. And this is one of any asset, so it's like short mini visual novels. They're only 1,000 words or less, only one sprite, only one background. Go Rue, thank you. So they're very, very, very short. And they're a lot of fun. They're very snackable. So if you head on over to itch.io, that's where you can see all of those. And yeah, I decided I was going to go ahead and enter into the jam. And so I created a game called Sorry About the Mess. And it is a horror yandere game. It's like a psychological horror. Agile's about to start in a minute. I'm going to see if I can snooze it. All right, for 5 minutes we're snoozed. How rude of you to interrupt me, Agile. So that's my first announcement. If you're interested in checking out my game, it is free. It's on itch.io and it's called Sorry About the Mess. And I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat because why not plug my own game, right? Why not? And then my artist was Rosia, who is in the community, and my programmer was Artisan, who is actually here in the chat tonight, lurking. Lurky. All right, so there's my game. And literally, y'all, this game takes like 10 minutes to play, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't have time to play it because I'm busy. Yes, you're busy. It's 10 minutes though, so it's not going to be a burden. I don't think. Not that any games are. Really? Lawrence from Teacher said this: time reading a story is never time wasted. And I tend to agree. Never time wasted. Okay, anyway, there's that game. So now that I have one visual novel under my belt, we're going crazy once again. So the Jitteru Stunner Discord community, they were like, Rue, okay, here's what happened, okay? Let me give you the background. Y'all are crazy, okay? Y'all are sus. All of y'all. All of y'all? All of you stunners, you're sus. I love you, but you're sus, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Y'all created this monster called Runicle, okay? So here's what happened. So all of a sudden, there was tentacles in my chat, like every single day. Honestly, there's honestly a very real Otome streamer, Otome dev pipeline. Yes. Right? Streamer to dev. That's what's happening. So people started putting tentacles in my chat. How dare? How dare you put tentacles in my chat? Okay? Knowing that I'm like slightly weirded out by tentacles, but you know what? I'm embracing it now. I'm embracing it. Just like that, how dare you? Those tentacles right there. And then not only did you start putting tentacles in my chat, like for weeks, for months, every time, tentacles in the chat all the freaking time. Then and you started finding like unhinged moments to put a tentacle somewhere, like something would happen with Raphael in Love and Deep Space, and you'd put a tentacle in there. Gross. And then you started making tentacle monsters. So you would get like other emojis, you'd get laughing emojis, you'd get cat and dog emojis, you'd get robot emojis, and you would put tentacle arms on either side. Or you'd make eels, like with a tail, and put a head at the end of it, and turn it into a tentacle. Yes, Vicky, yes, a dead fish. Yes. And then the progression ended up being Rue emotes, the Jitteru emotes, and putting tentacle arms on Rue. That's what you did. And then you named it, okay? You gave it a name. You named it Runicle. Not only did you do that, okay? Here's what else y'all did. One time you made 3 different tentacle monsters, Runicle being one of them. Oh God, Vicky. My life is pain. That's what that one is. Oh God. Not only did you do that, okay, you made 3 different tentacle monsters. Runicle was one of them. Oh no, pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad break to disable them. Okay, well, if you're in ad jail, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep talking. Right? You made 3 different tentacle monsters, and then you made me do a Bone Bride Banish in the chat. You redeemed a Bone Bride Banish, and then I had to follow through, because that's the rules. Them's the rules. Anything that's redeemed on Twitch, I have to do it. Them's the rules. Okay? So we ended up having 3 different tentacle monsters to do a Bone Bride Banish. And guess what? Well, at least everybody decided to bride Runicle. I was like, how dare you? How dare? But at least you brided Runicle. At least you did that. At least you brided her. She didn't get banished. She got brided. Well, anyways, that was a thing. So fast forward some time, okay? Runicle is now part of the lore. It's Stunner community lore. And recently, now that I've done my first visual novel game, Spooktober is coming up. And the Spooktober Jam is an entire month where you can create your game and submit. It's in September. And multiple people started saying, make a Runicle Spooktober. Runicle Spooktober. Lots of people were saying that. And I was like, y'all want a Runicle Spooktober? What are you talking about? You want more Runicle. Anyway, I thought about it. I thought it was just a joke. I was like, haha, that's not going to happen. But then I really thought about it. And then I asked my brother, Artisan, I was like, so, you know, Runicle, you know how it's just like a big joke? If I were to enter into a jam for a Runicle game, would you be in on this with me? Like, would you be interested in helping me produce a Runicle game? And my brother, y'all, he was like, yes, let's do it. I did. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I asked the community, I was like, y'all remember Runicle, the tentacle monster Rue thing that y'all created? If I were to make a Spooktober game for the jam about Runicle, would y'all be interested in participating? And then everyone was like, yes, woo! And they were all like, we've got all these ideas. They started sending me ideas and all this. And then I was like, okay, Runicle, there's interest in Runicle. So then I was like, well, I'd need an artist that would have the time and, you know, the ability to do a Runicle game, because this one would be bigger than the O2A2 Jam game. It would have multiple sprites, potentially. Like, I'm thinking of 2 characters. It would have multiple backgrounds, probably 2. There'd be a chat sim element to it. There's gonna be voice acting. There'd be kind of a lot CGs, all these kinds of things. There's kind of a lot of things. And I was like, oh, but you know, for people who haven't really done this a whole lot, like, it kind of feels intimidating a little. It seems like a lot, especially, you know, for like, I'm so new to doing all of this. And so I was like, I need somebody who can like help me through this process and make it be awesome, you know, and help me along. And so I reached out to one of my favorite artists, Alex at the Moon, who does Honey Bunny games, who's been doing Honey Bunny games for many, many years. Because I was like, you know what, a style that would lend itself well to comedy and horror at the same time. They've done both horror and comedy, like different styles and everything, but they could definitely do a horror comedy type of a thing. And I was like, that would be perfect. So I reached out and I was like, hey, any interest in joining me on this, you know, for Spooktober? And they were like, yes. I was like, awesome. So then I got an artist. So then I was like, we got a team. And then I was like, oh my God. And then people were like giving me all of these ideas. So I made a whole channel in the Discord just for Runicle, just to talk about Runicle and to share ideas and to see how people wanted to collaborate. And then another friend was like, one of my streamer friends, I'm going to put a big announcement out about who's all going to be helping out. But one of my streamer friends, Epic's Lions, who does, he has a YouTube channel. He's on Twitch as well, and he does a lot of visual novels, like yandere creepypasta stuff, you know. But he does a lot of visual novel videos and playthroughs and stuff, and he was like, I'll be your other character, your sprouted character, because everyone was like, Rue, you're great and everything. We want Runicle, but we also want a hot guy. I mean, most of my community loves Otome games. They're like, we want a hot guy, give us a hot guy. And so I'm like, okay, but I would want it to be fully voice acted. And then Lion was like, yeah, I'll voice act. And Lion's a great voice actor, like legit. Lion has actually done professional voice acting, I think. And he has different voices he can do too, you know, so he could do the character justice. So I was like, okay, all right, the hot guy character, it's happening. And then Runicle, I'll voice Runicle. And then people were like, oh, how else can we help? So there's going to be people helping coming up with ideas, brainstorming for Runicle. People are going to be helping like provide like extra assets and things that we might need. People are going to help out with music, you know, like some people are like, hey, I can sing, you know, I can dance. I can voice act. I can, you know, people are like, hey, I'm a writer. I can write. People are like, hey, I can, you know, all of these wonderful, beautiful talents that were within the community. And I'm like, are we about to make a community Spooktober game? We're totally gonna do it. It's gonna be a community-driven Spooktober horror comedy Spooktober extravaganza, and it's gonna be unhinged. It's gonna be insane. I can't believe we're doing this, but we're locked in now. We're doing it, okay? We have all the pieces. And so, for those of you who would like to participate in making this, I'm not sure what the name is going to be called, but for now I'm calling it Runicle. It's going to have an actual name that people, like most people are going to be like, Runicle, what the heck is that? It's going to have a name that's going to be like something people would click on, hopefully. But anyways, if you would like to participate in this craziness, here's what you should know. So I'm managing everything in Discord. If you'd like to join the Jitteru Stunners on Discord, there is right there Stream Elements with the link. Thank you, Stream Elements. If you're on YouTube, it's in the bottom at the end of the description under this stream. You can participate, but you do need to join the Discord so that way you can, like, you know, submit your ideas. I will be running activities and things throughout August to help us plan and get ready. So before the jam, we are allowed to plan, we're allowed to brainstorm, but we can't actually do the real work. The real work is going to start in September. So throughout the month of September, that's when we will be jamming, and we will actually be doing the script, doing the actual acting, writing and recording the actual music, doing the actual art, all of that kind of stuff. But we're going to plan ahead of time here in August. And so if you would like to contribute to any part of this, whether it's the planning, whether it's the execution, or if you'd like to help later on by maybe you're a content creator and you want to stream it later for a Halloween party or whatever you want to do, the game will be released and available throughout October. It has to be done and submitted by the end of September, which means it will be available to play with all of the other Spooktober games in October. So anyone who wants to create content around it, that is encouraged. If you want to stream it, that is encouraged. If you want to make a video about it, that is encouraged. Or if you just want to, you know, or you just want to contribute beforehand, at any point, you're invited. It's a community project is what this is. Now, here's the concrete things that y'all can definitely do. All right. Number one, if you are a content creator, especially in the visual novel space, or if you are a dev, if you create visual novel games yourself, there will be an opportunity for us. You know, if anyone has played A Date with Death, there's fake ads for actual visual novels in A Date with Death, and they're hilarious. So I'm giving the opportunity for people who create games, for people who do content creation around in the visual novel space. If you would like to join us in kind of promoting yourself and promoting your channel and promoting your game, we're going to have fake Twitch ads, because the whole premise is going to be a stream. Well, I should tell you the premise. The premise is, for now, the names may change. Butteroo is a streamer on Bewitch, like Twitch, get it? Butteroo is a streamer on Bewitch. And she's having a Halloween party stream with her co-host, Hot Dude Guy, whatever his name is going to be. Hot Dude Guy and Butteroo, they're doing a collab Halloween party stream. MC is a chatter. And MC is like, MC's chatting away and realizes that they have power they click a magic emote, a magic emoji or something like that. They have the power to influence what's actually happening in the real world to Butteroo. Poor Butteroo. Okay, so for example, they do the sob emoji and Butteroo starts crying uncontrollably. That kind of thing. It's like Death Note, except with emotes and, you know, streamers. And not as dark. That's the premise, okay? And that's eventually what's going to lead to poor Butteroo becoming Runicle and growing tentacle arms. And because there's going to be a hot dude guy character and there's going to be Runicle. And my audience wants a hot guy romance. And they also said they want a romance Runicle because they want a bride Runicle. So that means this is going to have multiple endings. There's going to be 2 short routes. So you can either romance Runicle or you can romance hot dude guy. And then you can either get a romance ending or a horror ending. So I'll figure all of that, how it's going to work later. But that's the setup. And it's going to be about anywhere from about 5,000 to 10,000 words. So it's still going to be really short. You know, maybe if I feel like I need it, I might sneak it up to like 15,000 words. But I'm thinking like 5 to 10 should be fine, you know. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Now that that's been said, because it's a Halloween stream and it's taking place within a stream environment, and that's where the chat sim element comes in, and that's where these fake Twitch ads come in. So if you would like to promote something, then you can join the Discord, and then you can send me a DM to coordinate and everything, because I will only accept submissions via Discord. But we'll put a fake ad for you in the game to go along with the other ones. It'll be hilarious. It'll be fun. It'll add to the realism. We'll have a fake ad jail, but it'll actually be things people want ads for, like more visual novels. Who doesn't want that? The other way that people can contribute is this. Okay, so we will also have the chatters, because it's a part chat sim. So if you want to be a chatter, then you get to pick your own username, and then you get to write the chats. So I'm going to put prompts out when we're doing this, and then people can make chat messages, and we'll program those into the game. So that'll be fun. And then finally, the last way, what was the other thing? I can't remember right now. My brain is shutting off. Well, anyways, I'll think about it later. But if you would like to participate in one of those ways, or if you'd like to be a tester, or, you know, anything else, or you have a special secret idea, you can send me a DM. But we're making it happen. Spooktober is going to be a lot of fun. So I was just super excited. I really wanted to tell you all about that crazy news and take like 10 minutes of your life talking about it. That's all I have to say. Thanks for hearing me out. It's gonna be fun. All right, y'all. Thank you all for joining me today. I'm Rue Jitteru, and I'm desperately obsessed with romance games, Otome games, visual novels in general, dating sims, romance, amare, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm desperately obsessed. I like to play the games. I like to make the games now. I like to rank and roast husbandos and stuff. Well, anyways, if that sounds like fun to you, consider giving this stream a like, or consider giving me a subscribe, and yeah, consider subscribing or following me, whether you're on YouTube or the Twitch or wherever you are. Consider becoming a stunner. I'd love to have you. I'd love to see you again. And at this time, I'm going to say goodnight. And if you're on Twitch, we're going to raid someone and spread the love. And if you're on YouTube, thank you for hanging out. Goodbye. I'm sure there's a way to raid people on YouTube. I just don't know how to do it. One day I will become more sophisticated and I'll start doing that. But as of today, y'all have a nice night, or a good morning, or an afternoon, or whatever time it is for you and you're part of the woods. Okay, see you next time. Bye. Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're gonna raid and spread the love.